Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe.
Yep.
Good morning.
Here we go.
Good morning.
My man decked out in his Dallas Cowboy colors today, and I love it because he can't stop talking about the Dallas Cowboys. He is obsessed with my Cowboys, right?
I can't wait for free agency to hit.
Yeah. You can't wear those colors.
Yeah, good.
Oh, Dak go. Oh, okay.
Jack.
Oh, okay, Dak, you hear that? You hear that? The guy that gave you A's and B's all year long for 8-8, he wants you to hit the road.
Welcome to Dallas, Tom Brady.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
On that note, I'm just processing. We have a ton to get to today. Is LeBron really the one player that most people would want on their team in the finals? Did you write that, Shannon? I feel like that was you. Plus, is Tua the better QB prospect over Joe Burrow? But first, we do have to talk about Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, and Shannon dressed accordingly. Dak has yet to sign a new deal, which means that at this point, the Cowboys will either have to franchise tag the QB or allow him to become a free agent in March. Emmitt Smith believes it's Dak who should be the one to concede the negotiation process. Take a listen.
Dak has to understand and maybe take another perspective. The perspective may not be all the money that you get. It may be how much of the money you're willing to leave on the table, because the Cowboys is a marketable organization.
And so if you got all that extra money, that's
so
not,
if you are the face of the franchise, would it not, instead of taking 35, would you take 28 and leave some for Amari and pick up the other 35 through endorsements?
Shannon, are you surprised that Emmitt said this?
I'm shocked. I know Emmitt very well. Emmitt and I used to hang out together. I know Emmitt. Emmitt is a very good friend of mine. We were in the same draft in 1990. So I know Emmitt Smith very well. And the one thing I know about Emmitt Smith, he loves his money. Now, what Emmitt didn't also, now Emmitt held out.
Yes.
In 1993, Skip Bayless, he missed 2 games. You were covering the Cowboys.
I was right in.
You were in it.
Okay.
Yep.
Emmitt Smith was covering the Cowboys, was holding out.
Sure.
Now, Emmitt wanted, if I'm not mistaken, Emmitt wanted 4 years at $28 million. At the time, Dan Marino was the highest paid player in the NFL at $4.1 million.
Okay.
So in other words, he wanted to almost double Dan Marino's salary.
Wow.
Now, he would have a compelling argument if Dak Prescott was trying to double Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson is the highest per average at about $36 million a year. If he wanted $72 million, I would say, okay, come on now, Dak, let's be real. But everybody, I'm tired of guys. The one thing we didn't do is we count another man's pockets. Now what we call it pocket watching.
Oh.
Emmitt's pocket watching. Michael Irvin is pocket watching. I don't know how this happened, Jen, but billionaires have convinced their fans that if a player does not give me a discount, he doesn't care about winning. All he cares about himself, and the fans have bought in. And then you get the great players from said organization. They also come back and says, you should give a discount. When Emmitt didn't give a discount, Emmitt he didn't get $27 million, but what he did do is get $100,000 per year more than what Thurman Thomas got, who was the highest paid running back at the time.
Wow.
I just wanted to provide Skip, you know I love context.
It's so out of context that I'm
Get
about to
Skip's
destroy it.
Okay, but Skip, here's the thing. The owners did a great job of convincing the players, and the players allowed this to happen. When you come in as a rookie, Skip, you're capped. So I can't maximize my earnings. I'm capped there. Then when I come to hit big free agency, guess what I want you to do? I want you to give me a discount. Skip, there's something that happened in 1996. Can you tell me why? And I want you to tell the people at home, but I think you know why. Jerry Jones opted out of the league's revenue sharing. Tell the people why he did that. You don't want to tell him, I would tell him. Jenny, he opted out because he said, I can make more money outside of you than I can with you.
And that has what to do with Emmitt Smith's contract?
It has everything to do because Dak Prescott is a business. It's not his job to worry about what the Cowboys do.
Wait, there's this thing called the salary cap.
That got nothing to do with Dak. So let me ask you a question.
It has everything to do with Dak.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
His whole life and future is the salary cap. His ability to win Super Bowls, plural, is about the salary cap. Yes.
So is Dak part owner of the Cowboys? What part of the Cowboys belong to Dak? I'll let the business worry about the business side of it.
Tell me when it's my
It's not your turn just yet. So this is what I didn't understand. Did Tyron Smith try to keep the core together? He was the highest paid left tackle at the time when he got his contract. Did Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, DeMarcus Lawrence, did they try to keep the core together? No, they did not. This notion, Skip, and I said this at the time, I said the greatest thing Tom Brady has done is won. But also, he's done a disservice to a lot of other players. Because in the process of him playing for less money than what he was worth, everybody expects that quarterbacks and other players are to give discounts. Dak Prescott would be a D-fool to give Jerry Jones, who's worth that kind of money, a discount. Maximize it, because if you get hurt, then what, Skip Bayless? Then what?
You done?
Take it away.
Thank you. I know Emmitt Smith very, very, very well because I covered him for all those years in Dallas. And I'm not his friend, but I got to be around him a whole lot. And I know all about what he was about at that point in time. And you're right, he was all about the money. But just for the record, as he admitted in this same interview yesterday, Emmitt caved in that negotiation with Jerry because you can argue semantically he got a little bit more than Thurman Thomas. He was asking for, as you said, 27 or 28 total million. He took 13.6 total million dollars.
Skip, that'd have been double what a quarterback was making.
It was not double because 2 months later, in early December, Troy Aikman got 8 years, $50 million. Emmitt got 4 years, $13.6 million.
A quarterback.
Thank you. Thank you. That was the point. Emmitt knows he was not the quarterback.
Thank you.
Emmitt had, to my recollection, zero national TV commercials. Zero. I can't remember one. Maybe I'm forgetting one, but I don't know one.
Right.
Maybe later in his career he got one, but in 1993, they had won one Super Bowl, thanks to Emmitt in large part, but not two, not three, as they had through 1995.
Right.
Emmitt eventually, in 1996, got a much better deal that I thought was more realistic to his position and what he had earned at that point. But so far, he hadn't earned any more than 13.6. And even though he held out and missed the first two games, which that team, the defending Super Bowl champs, lost.
Started 0-2.
It was also Emmitt getting over anxious. I want to be with the fellas. I got to get back. And they need me. And here we go. And I thought he caved when everybody else wrote that Jerry caved. And yesterday, Emmitt said in his interview, I practically did just that, meaning to take a hometown discount in 1993.
Well, hometown discount, hold on. Hometown discount, Tom Brady's taking hometown discount. He was never the highest paid. So how the hell are you taking a discount if you become the highest paid?
Thank you. So back to what have I constantly referred to Dak Prescott as on this show? He is Brady-esque. He plays the kind of football at quarterback that Tom Brady plays. He doesn't have a huge arm. He just makes play after play after play after play. And he has shown...
Just not this year, though.
He has shown clutchness. Thank you for bringing that up, because not this year. You're making my case and closing it. This year, he was not clutch. Every moment he had this year to win the game at the moment, Dak Prescott did not come through. So what am I left with? I was left with 8-8. Big numbers, big stats. 8-8 is the bottom line. And Shannon Sharpe always tells me it's about the dubs and the L's, right?
Yes.
And your restaurant fittingly only serves L's because you're about to take an L in this
Oh,
debate.
no, I got you dead right.
Oh, yeah, you really
I got you dead
me.
right. Go ahead.
So I loved what Emmitt said because he's seeing the bigger picture, and he's now an ambassador to the Dallas Cowboys. He gets a little money on the side, as sort of a paid spokesman for the Dallas Cowboys. So we can disqualify him if we want to, but he's seeing what should happen, just the way Michael Irvin saw what was happening, and he said virtually the same thing Emmitt did. It's time for Dak to step back with his agent, Todd France, and say, let's calm back down, because off the field, we have the capability of making more than any other quarterback in the National Football League, because he's already off to the races in that regard.
If you don't mind me asking, so he can't do that as the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He can only do that if he's a fourth or fifth or seventh best highest paid quarterback.
All right, but the incredible, raging, outrageous hypocrisy coming from across the table is, we know, because you're on the record, you're not a believer in Dak as a quarterback. So obviously, for those out there in TV land watching, we got to be transparent about what's going on. He is pushing for Dak Prescott to wreck my salary cap by making way too much money.
I'm pushing for Dak to get what he deserves.
Oh, right. And yet you told me all year you gave him Fs for at least 3/4 of the games.
I gave him what he deserved.
Okay.
I didn't give him, he earned it.
If I just average his grades from Shannon Sharpe for the year, it might be a D. It might be.
Right.
Maybe. I'm being maybe a little generous there. So if you've given him a D for the year, how can you then campaign for him to be the highest paid quarterback in pro football?
Skip, I didn't say highest paid.
Well, I think you have.
No, here's the thing. I got to provide context. Skip, you just said that Zeke Elliott, and I said Zeke Elliott is more important to the Cowboys than Dak.
You said it many
He
times.
got $90 million.
Mm-hmm.
He got $50 guaranteed. Well, Dak's going to turn around and get almost $40 million in one season. That's just the way it works. Emmitt was trying to get double what the highest paid player was making.
You can ask for whatever you want to ask for. He signed for $13.6 million for 4 years.
So
do the math. Okay. It's $3 million a year.
But it was also the highest paid running back.
Okay, it's because of the devaluing of that position.
Okay. But guess what's not devalued? That position.
Okay, Emmitt knew also he could make nothing, little to nothing, off the field. You can make your locals, your Dallas.
Yes.
But I'm talking about the big bucks.
Yeah.
Let's just count the ways Dak was making money last year, shall we? Campbell's Chunky Soup, is that a big endorsement?
That's a national.
I saw that a lot.
7-Eleven, New Era. How about Sleep Number beds? How many times did I see that commercial?
A lot.
It was a big one. Pepsi, Citibank.
You saw it on the field, it wasn't even a commercial. Did you see some of those games last year? Hell, I thought he was sleeping on the field, Jenny. But that's none of my business. I don't know why I brought that up, Skip.
Somebody is talking out of both sides of his mouth across the table.
No, but Skip, here's the thing, look.
I'm not finished yet.
Go ahead.
Name more.
Pepsi,
More.
Citibank, those are huge accounts. And then we get all the way down to the Oikos yogurt account that Cam had, and Cam sort of blew it up when he went after the female reporter, and that was the end of that deal. And Dak inherited that one from Cam. So he is rolling in the dough off the field. He only made $2 million on the field.
Whoa, wait a minute. So, in other words, he came in because you could suppress the rookies, because the owners had convinced the veteran players, Jenny, this is what they did. It's like, you know what, we get Sam Bradford, we get guys coming in making more than Tom Brady, making more than Peyton Manning and Drew Brees, and they haven't done a thing. What we would like to do, veteran players, is we'd like to cap on the front end. And so the money that's going to save, we're going to give it to the veteran players. But guess what happens when the player is not a high draft pick? Let's just say he's a 4th or 5th round draft pick. And there's a veteran making $1.52 million, and there's the rookie that's going to make $400,000 to $500,000. The vet get cut. They're like, well, hold on, I thought you... No. We ran game on you. So we going to suppress you at the beginning, and then we want, when it's your turn to make your money, we want you to give us a discount in the end. Hell no, Skip Bayless. I tell you what you do. You don't believe that? Hold on. You and Jerry does not believe Dak Prescott is worth what he's asking for.
What's Dak?
Set him free.
Okay.
Set him free. And
well, he just might get his shot. Might get his shot.
If Dak Prescott hits the free agent market, I guarantee you he'll get at least $37-38 million.
Well, you wouldn't pay him that much.
I ain't what I'll pay him. I ain't got no team. I ain't got no team.
Really?
But I'm just saying. I just know what the market will bear.
Okay, so Dak Prescott's playoff record right here, right now. I cannot defend it or criticize it either way. It's 1-2. 1-2. That's all he's done so far.
Yes.
That's all that matters to me is 1-2. And I see great potential because I love the young man. But I also would love it if he went Brady-esque, because that's how you win Super Bowls with an S on it. Tom Brady last year made a grand total of $23 million. Yes. That was by far the most he's ever made in 20 years.
Okay.
And guess what? He's played in 9 Super Bowls and won 6 of them.
Yes.
Why was that? What's a huge reason for that? Because he kept taking way under market. Way. This is the blue-blooded blueprint for how you win Super Bowls, is for the best quarterback in football to say, I'll just take about half of the going rate.
But here's the thing, Skip. You say that like Brady took this with the assurances and the guarantees he's going to win Super Bowls. So Dak doesn't take. Dak gives you a discount. If they don't win Super Bowls, are you going to give me the money back that I could have made in this contract? A simple yes or a simple no.
Does he not believe in himself?
Hold on.
He says they're going to win Super Bowls.
You just told me that football is the ultimate team game.
Don't give me words. Give me action. Say, I will take less. And they're not, Emmitt didn't advocate taking way like half what he should take.
He said for 35, he said take 30 from 35 to 28.
Okay, and guess what he's making off the field? I can't do it exactly because they don't divulge, but Adam Schefter reported that he makes a grand total of $50 million, including an insurance policy, but most of the $50 million...
The $50 million is if he got hurt, Skip, so you can't
but
count
it's
that.
not, no, but most of it is from the endorsement deals.
Yes.
So he's making lots of... Why do you think Dak Prescott has been so adamant and dug in about holding out? It's because he's making a ton of money already.
Skip.
You think he needs the money? He does not need the money.
Let me ask you this. If Dak, let's just say for the sake of argument, Dak was Andy Dalton, and he was playing terrible, and hadn't gone to the playoffs, and hadn't won a playoff game, do you think he'd have all these national spots? Because where was Quincy Carter's national spot?
Well, they haven't been that great under Dak.
But here,
I mean, 1 and 2 in the playoffs. If you're the quarterback of America's team, it is cachet. It's automatic.
What was Tony Romo? What was Tony Romo's record? I didn't hear Emmitt. I didn't hear Michael Irvin says Tony Romo should take a discount. Jerry Jones made him the highest paid player in the NFL. Why was that?
You know why?
No.
I can tell you why, because Emmitt and Michael are sitting back saying, he gave Tony that much?
No. I don't need...
What was Tony's playoff record? Help me out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he got 55, guaranteed 108. So this is what I want them to do. Like they were sitting around like, whoo, I can't believe he gave... Keep your mouth shut. Stop pocket watching. Because Michael Irvin at one point in time was the highest paid receiver. At one point in time, Emmitt Smith was the highest paid running back. They didn't worry about the core.
Hey, just stop it with the pocket watching. We all pocket watch.
I ain't watching.
This whole show is built on pocket watching. Every topic we're topic watching. Are you saying you shouldn't topic watch? Well, then we can't talk about contracts anymore.
Skip. You and I. But I'm talking about as a player. Skip, I'm never going to say, do I think there are some guys that probably shouldn't make as much as they do? But what does the market bear?
What do Emmitt and Michael know that you know? They know what it feels like to win multiple Super Bowls. So they're stepping back from this situation and saying, time out. You make X million, maybe 30 or 40 million off the field, and that's ongoing. These are multi-year contracts, according to Adam Schefter.
Not guaranteed. Because the reason why they want to do it like this here, Jenny, the owners didn't want to be on the hook. If I gave you $100 million fully guaranteed and you got an injury that you couldn't play, I don't want to be on the hook for another $60 million. So
wait a second. You just interrupted my point, which is guaranteed off the field, injured or no injured. You've got multi-year contracts with endorsement sponsors.
Skip, you know they're going to dry. Skip, they're going to dry up.
Well, I don't think so anytime soon. Why would they dry up? Maybe when he's 40.
Okay, let me ask you this. I mean, Joe Montana used to have national spots. How many national spots you seen Joe win?
Did he play for America's team?
The man won 4 Super Bowls. He's the greatest quarterback.
He has had a bunch of national TV spots. A bunch.
A bunch.
He's been retired since, what was it, 80?
No. He retired in 95. 95.
Okay, but it seemed like he was done about 91, right?
You
started to slide into the
Skip.
sunset.
We got to stop this notion that if you don't, how has a billionaire been able to convince a millionaire that you need to give me a discount in order for us to be successful?
Because there's this thing called the salary cap. Wait a second. If you want to quit this job and go run the NFL Players Association and go fight those owners and get it cap-free, make it baseball, then you got a point. You don't have a point.
You told me Jerry is a businessman, that Jerry will work it out. Now, all of a sudden, Dak won his money. You saying Jerry can't find a way to work it out.
The players agreed to a salary cap, and they're about to agree to another one.
Skip, okay, we can agree. But I ain't agree to give you no discount. Where is that at?
Okay, but they're not mutually exclusive. They go together.
No, they're
connected. Yes, they do. I'm sorry, they do. When it comes to the quarterback, the highest paid, Tom Brady has given you
Skip, stop doing that. That's Tom Brady chose that.
But
don't put that.
What do you mean stop doing it? It's the ultimate way to do it.
Skip,
he showed you how to do it.
That's Tom Brady.
So it's the only guy who's done that, and look what he's got to show for it. 9 Super Bowls.
Skip.
Taking half of what he should have taken.
Skip, that's him. And what?
Okay, why shouldn't it be Dak?
Because he's not Tom Brady.
Okay, well, why shouldn't he be? Well, why wouldn't you try to do it the Brady way?
This is the way.
He showed you.
No, Skip, stop it.
What do you mean stop it? Who's played in 9 Super Bowls?
So
Help me out.
I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly.
Well, you're hearing me dead correctly.
So you saying if Tom Brady had not taken less money, they wouldn't have went to these Super Bowls?
Absolutely not, because it gives the Belichick the flexibility to mix and match all around you.
So you always say, well, who are they paying?
Well, I don't know, but they paid enough to get a team around Tom Brady.
And they got $50 million in cap space. So in other words, they still were going to be successful because Brady is great. They're not winning Super Bowl because Brady is taking $5 million or $10 million less.
Yes, they are. It maximizes the personnel director, who happens to be Belichick's, ability to mix and match around you with higher contracts. Were they leaving money on the table on their salary cap? No, they were not. They're paying somebody.
Let me ask you a question. Name the player, other than Stephon Gilmore for maybe a year, that was the highest paid at his position. They don't pay anybody.
Okay, are you trying to tell me that Bill Belichick used half his salary cap? Because they were always at the max. I don't know exactly how it was divvied.
I'm saying Bill got like 40, 50 million in a coffer somewhere. But my point...
Well, is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, I'm saying... Skip.
Okay, are you telling me that Bill Belichick annually left half his salary cap on the table?
Skip.
Did he not use his salary cap?
I don't really know how the salary cap really works because, I mean, you see, hold on, they got a team of 53. They're paying these guys, and one team got $4 in cap space, and the other team got $90 million in cap space. But that's neither here nor there. My point is that you and others, everything that Tom Brady did, Tom Brady, that's Brady.
Okay, let's do Tim Duncan in basketball. What did he annually do for his last 10 years? He took half of what he was worth.
Kobe Bryant took every penny, and he got 5 titles. Okay, your point.
Okay, my point is he had Shaquille O'Neal for 3 of those.
Okay. And he had Tony Parker, he had David Robinson, he had Manu Ginobili, he had Kawhi Leonard. Okay, your point again.
Yeah, I got lots of points because they had so much depth, even to your point, that by 2014, they were so loaded, 1-12, that they blew LeBron James' team off the floor by a record finals margin with their depth. Because Tim Duncan was making $5 million.
Okay, but I'm saying Kobe Bryant and Shaq was making max dollars and won titles. You can make max dollars and make titles and win titles. This notion that somebody, the quarterback, has to take less in order for you to win is disingenuous.
Okay, so if it comes down to Dak Prescott making $40 million next year and losing Amari Cooper, you like that?
Hey,
do you like it? Well, you would love it because you hate the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm gonna let Jerry figure it out because them owners and general managers always tell players, Hannah, you play, we own, we do this. Okay, I'm gonna let you do that. But what I'm not going to let you do is try to guilt me into taking less money, because that's not going to happen.
Nobody's trying to guilt him. They're just saying this is what makes sense. This is the way you should do it. If you care the way Michael and Emmitt... Wait a second. The way Michael and Emmitt cared about winning plural Super Bowls, you're going to take the Brady discount. Because you are America's team's quarterback.
Let me tell you something. My brother was one of those receivers, what they called them back then, the big 3. It was Jerry, my brother, and Michael Irvin. They were the big 3. Michael Irvin was the highest paid. He didn't worry about no core. Emmitt Smith was the highest paid. He didn't worry about no core. Now it's not his money. Hold on, skip. Let me finish. It's not his pockets that's affected. Now take less money.
You're talking about receiver money versus quarterback money. You're talking about $40 million for that guy and losing Amari Cooper. You're also talking about losing Byron Jones, who I think is a really stud cornerback. He doesn't intercept balls, but he covers everybody he's supposed to cover. And you know what? He's going to be gone if that guy's going to make $40 million.
Did
you like that? Well, you love it.
Hold on. Think about this here. What is Kansas City faced with? Now, they just get this signed Frank Clark to a massive deal.
They just won the Super Bowl.
Hold on, Skip. Let me finish. Now, Patrick Mahomes, boy, it's being reported they might have to franchise Chris Jones, their star defensive tackle, and trade him because they got to sign Mahomes, boy. That's not my responsibility. Get your money, Dak. Don't you let Emmitt, these all-time, because you see what they did yet? You say, the all-time great. Nobody's trying to guilt him. Emmitt Smith, all-time great, centennial player. Michael Irvin, one of the all-time greats, saying you should take less money. Jerry and Stephen Jones a year ago, almost to the day, you should take less money and help us out. Nah, bro. Nah, it ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Sorry.
It ain't happening.
Kansas City has a Super Bowl championship to show for it. It's a done deal. They got their one Super Bowl, and now they have to pay the piper.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know who the owner is? I mean, you know who the owner is because we follow it closely.
Yeah.
Their owner ain't opening his mouth. His owner is not behind Andy Reid's back saying he should have went for it on 4th down. He should have did this. Keep your mouth shut, keep it out of business, and everything will go okay. There you go.
It's complicated, and I don't even think we're going to have a solution at this point.
Don't you let the
We're going to get back to this.
Dak,
we're going to get back to this.
Listen to the ultimate Dak hater across the table. He wants you to wreck my football team going forward.
He pocket watching.
I'm still processing.
No mercy.
All right, NFL.com released their list of top quarterbacks worth pursuing this offseason. And the list included draft prospects and also current quarterbacks who could hit free agency. Tua Tagovailoa came in at number 1, followed by Dak Prescott. And Heisman winner Joe Burrow. Teddy Bridgewater came in at 4, while Tom Brady grabbed the 5th spot. So, Shannon, do you agree with these rankings?
I do, Skip, and I want to start with Tua versus Burrow.
Okay.
Skip, I think Tua is better because I've seen it over a longer period of time. Skip, I'm really leery, and that's not to say that Joe Burrow won't be a great NFL quarterback. Obviously, it has a lot to do with where he goes, but take that out of the equation. I'm really leery of guys doing it for 1 year. We saw Achilles Smith. We've seen guys, Skip, have those 1 years, and then all of a sudden they get drafted really, really high, and then you're like, well, what happened? It's normally the guy, for the most part, Skip, it's normally the guys that's put it together for a couple of years. I've seen Tua do it. Yeah, he got blown out in the national championship game against Clemson, but that's regular season. He was unbelievable. I saw what he was doing this year before he got hurt. Now, if you want to say the injury history, he had the ankle injury, had another ankle injury, he had the hip injury. If you want to say injuries, okay, but just ability. His ability to throw the ball with the accuracy and the velocity and the touch that he has, Skip, is second to none. Burrow can't touch that. Now, moving on down the line, Dak. It's just hard for me to believe. I think Dak is will be 26, or maybe he'll be 27 his birthday. But Skip, I'm not investing in Brady when I got a 26, 27-year-old. Now, if Brady was 36, 35, 36, Skip, we having a different argument. But he's not. He's about to be 43 at the start of the season. So I'm taking Dak. Yes, absolutely. And so with that, for me, Skip, I just don't believe that Brady's going to be the commodity that you think he is. Yes, some people go like, well, I believe we're a quarterback away. Let's take it. But he's 43. And if you could honestly, because even when we were just talking about Dak, he always went back. He's been to 9 Super Bowls. He's won 6. If you can just evaluate him on a season to season, we're not talking about what he's done. He did that. He earned those, no question. If you evaluate Tom Brady, what you saw this year, he's not the same. And everybody knows it, but they just can't get past. It's the same argument you have with Jordan. When LeBron or some other player does something, but Jordan was 6-0 in the finals with 6 MVP. We're not talking about that. We're talking about this. We're talking about right here, right now, moving forward.
But wait a second. On LeBron, when you say he's the GOAT, and you're saying MJ was 6-0 with 6 MVPs, and you're saying we're not talking about that. Yeah, we are.
No. I'm talking about LeBron. I'm saying LeBron James. I say LeBron had an unbelievable game against the Nuggets. You go back to when he fell, but 2011 was the worst by a superstar. That got nothing to do with that.
Well, it does, too, when we're talking about LeBron in the bigger picture.
Well, we're talking about LeBron. We're talking about LeBron in the small picture.
This list. Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
All right.
Okay, I love David Carr, and this is his list.
Sure.
He's really good on TV. I enjoy watching him, listening to him, and he knows a whole lot about football. But I got to tell you, this list is ASA 9, ASA 10, ASA 11, and ASA 12, which is Tom Brady's number, because Tom Brady should be number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on this list, because we have Michael Jordan at the end of his prime on the free agent market. We've never had this before in the history of this league. It's a win-now league. If I can get Tom Brady for this year and next year for 2 years, I got chances to win Super Bowls that nobody ahead of him in this list is going to give you. I'm sorry. Let's go back to Tua. Number 1 target, says David Carr, is Tua. Well, David Carr is living proof of why that's a fallacious argument, because David Carr once upon a time went number 1 overall in the 2002 draft.
Yes.
And how good was he, Mr. Sharpe? He was not very good.
Skip, now you
he was
know
with
what
a bad
happened.
football team, and they couldn't protect him.
And they got to beat him down.
And so he went 23-56 as a starter. But again, do I think he was an all-time great player who got in a bad spot? No, I think he was just a pretty good quarterback who was in a very bad situation. So his touchdowns, interceptions ended up 59-65 in those years he started, and then he hung on as a backup, and he had an okay career, but he wasn't the number 1 overall pick in that draft. Joey Harrington went 3rd in that draft, and he was just a flat-out bust.
Yes.
Okay? So every year we see big swings and big misses in this draft, which brings me to the draft of just a couple of years back. I was bullish on Baker Mayfield. He had a bad year last year, and so am I quite as bullish? Not really. You love Sam Darnold. Are you bullish on him? Do you think he's going to be a superstar? No, you're not, because he's not that guy. And that brings us to Josh Allen. A lot of people liked him, and maybe he's going to turn out pretty to very good. And that brings us to the other Josh named Rosen. And I dug in before the draft. I said, no, he can't play in the league, and I don't think he can play in the league.
But Skip, also in the draft that you mentioned was Lamar Jackson.
That was my next point. If you let me finish my point, there's one guy who went clear down at the bottom of the round, and wait a second, he looks like he's by far the best quarterback. So you can't evaluate these kid quarterbacks. Tua, okay, to me, Joe Burrow is much better than Tua. Like, it's not even close to me. And I realize I got to see only one great year of Joe Burrow because his first year at LSU was not great. Okay. And then Joe Brady comes from the Saints, and they revamped the whole offense.
Did Joe Brady going to Cincinnati?
No, but I saw Joe Burrow make throw after throw after big-time throw, and trust me, his velocity is at least as strong as Tua.
No way.
Because Tua does not have a big arm. He's a soft armor. No. I'm sorry he does not have a cannon.
No.
I will give you accuracy. Skip. I will not give you velocity.
No, Skip. He doesn't have Michael Vick type arm.
Okay. You know what he's got? He's Michael Vick's height. They listed him at 6'1". He might be 6 feet.
Yeah, I was thinking
and he's got good feet, I'll give you that. But Joe Burrow can flat out get out of the pocket and run with the football at 6 feet, 4 inches tall, a former all-star basketball player in the state of Ohio, and he plays like a basketball player. And you want to talk about deadly accurate? Whew! Yeah. Give me Joe Burrow. And again, I look at Tua. What did he have to throw to? You love Jerry Jeudy. You think he's the best receiver in the draft.
Whoa, hold on.
Wait, no, I'm talking. You interrupt me constantly because I'm going to just back you deeper into the corner. Okay. I'm looking at Henry Ruggs is going to be a first-round pick along with Jerry Jeudy. I'm looking at Devontae Smith was the leading receiver, and he's going back to Alabama. And I look at Jalen Waddle. I don't know how high he'll go when he comes out, but he might be a second-round pick. You're throwing to that track team of receivers, and you're telling me that he's a slam dunk #1 overall pick better than Joe Burrow? I don't know about that. And by the way, Tua's left tackle is going to be, I don't know, 5th or 6th.
He was a right tackle.
Okay.
Willis.
Yeah, but he's going to be a left tackle.
Yes, he is.
You watch. Okay. Yeah. Wills. So that brings me to my man, Dak Prescott. You're saying right here, right now, that he is #2 on this list is a target ahead of Tom Brady. And what's the last line from David Carr in this breakdown? Prescott showed a lot of consistency throughout 2019 and proved he can be clutch when he needs to be. Wrong, double wrong, triple wrong, quadruple wrong. He did not. I have always defended him on his clutch factor until last year. Again and again, including the game at Philadelphia, did he not have Tavon wide open for a touchdown? Did he not overthrow him by 5 yards? I can't defend that. So just stop it with that. So then what did David Carr say when he got to Teddy Bridgewater? He's got Teddy Bridgewater ahead of Tom Brady. Let that go in your head.
That one stuck out to me.
Teddy Bridgewater, this is just straight Brady hate now because Teddy Bridgewater has played in a grand total, Mr. Sharpe, of 1 playoff game. And he played okay in that game because it was outside in your town. It was outside and it was like below 0.
Yeah, it was cold.
Right? The wind chill was like -30 or something like that.
You don't play football outside
you know what?
At that
he
time
game managed pretty well in that game, and it was the Blair Witch Project game, Blair Walsh, and he missed the field goal and they lost the game.
Never been the same.
Okay, so he's 0-1 in his 1 playoff game, for better or for worse. Okay, so Tom Brady, let's see, he's played in 9 Super Bowls, and Teddy Bridgewater's played in 1.
You see what you did, Jimmy?
Okay, no, but if you want the experience, do you want it?
No.
Yeah.
Evaluating last year moving forward.
Okay, let's read what David Carr said about Tom Brady because this isn't consistent with the 5th target on this list. Let's read it, okay?
Sure.
Here it goes. Brady is coming off one of his worst statistical seasons in some time, but it's hard to knock the guy when you look at what he was working with. Boom, thank you. Brady still has all the intangibles. That's because of 9 Super Bowls. From his leadership skills to his knowledge of defense, because he's won 6 Super Bowls.
Oh, you added that.
Okay, I'm reading. He has limited mobility. We've known that since his Combine 40, but is still a great pocket passer and gets the ball out extremely fast. Yes, yes, yes. With a solid supporting cast around him, Brady could make most teams automatic contenders. Okay, so wait a second. Tom Brady's going to turn any team into an automatic contender if you have just a reasonable team around him.
Okay.
And he's 5th on the... Wait, 2 + 2 equals 12.
Whoa.
What?
The thing that we love Tom Brady for, he took the guys from Dorchester and he went to Super Bowl. So now he's the same guy. Skip Bayless tells me he's the same guy, but now he needs more of a supporting cast. If he's the guy what you said he is, why couldn't he do less? Tom Brady did less with less this year than anybody, because anybody could have did exactly what he did.
Okay, so he didn't have 3 guys from Dorchester. He had as his number 1 receiver and his only receiver who could quote-unquote separate, Julian Edelman.
Hall of Famer.
Well, no, you laughed at that. No, you laughed at
Super Bowl MVP.
Wait, you scoffed at that.
Yeah, I told you.
Okay, Julian Edelman, a broken-down 33-year-old receiver who needed shoulder surgery right after the season, led the league in drop passes. That's all you had. That's your number 1 receiver.
Yeah, Tom Brady throwing him into them car crashes on the most ball. The quick quarterback.
The most accurate thrower of the football ever, Tom Brady.
Stop it.
Oh, start it.
Drew Brees is the most accurate.
Oh, stop it. Are you kidding? How many Super Bowls has Drew Brees?
But Skip, so now we base accuracy on Super Bowls. I thought accuracy is based on completion percentage.
This list is insane.
No, it's not. But
this lane, it's offensive.
Skip, hold on. I was looking at something. You talking about Tua throwing the rugs and he's throwing to Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Joe Burrows. Jamar Chase was the Biletnikoff winner.
No, he's got 3 good ones.
Whoa, but you didn't mention that. You glossed over that because you said
I haven't gotten to it.
Okay, well let me get to it. Jordan Chase was the Biletnikoff winner, and he had 20 touchdowns. Jordan Jefferson also was a great receiver.
Stud.
18 touchdowns. Terrence Marshall had 12 or 13 touchdowns on 46 catches, and I didn't even mention a Moss son. And then what about Clyde Edwards?
He was a tight end, but again. Wait a second. One guy, Tua, had 4 studs. He had 3.
So let me ask you a question.
No, let me ask you a question.
Oh, sure you can.
Well, what happened back in 2018 in the SEC championship game? Help me out in the 4th quarter. What happened? Tua was so bad in a big game against Georgia on a national stage, he got benched in favor. He did not get hurt. He got benched.
You know the man got hurt.
Guess what he was up to that point? He wasn't hurt yet.
Yeah,
he was 10 of 25 for 164 yards. He was a QBR of 29 in that game, which is just pathetic.
You know what? I love her. You love.
I'm not finished yet. Then he comes back in the national championship game, and they get routed because he was pretty awful in that game. He went 2 interceptions, threw for 295, had a QBR of 59, which is not in college. They're always in the 90s.
So if you don't mind me asking, the year before the SEC championship game, he came in off the bench against the University of Georgia, who had the number 1 defense in the country. Can you tell the people at home what he did in the second half?
He did great, but I'm talking about when he became the starter with the pressure on him. I'll tell you what, in big moments on big stages, I have not seen the first pick in the draft. And when I saw Joe Burrow, in 3 games this year, do you remember what he did at Tuscaloosa?
Yes.
He had a QBR of 97 against St. Nick's defense at Tuscaloosa.
Skip, all I'm saying is that it scares me when a guy does that 1 year.
Okay, he did it 1 game at LSU, then against Oklahoma in the semifinal, he has a QBR of 99, and against Clemson in the final, a game that a lot of people thought Clemson would win, he had a QBR of 98. He just didn't miss a throw. I'm sitting back saying, that's just too good. And he can run.
Look at the accuracy over the 2 years. You look at the completion percentage. You look at the touchdowns. It's not even close.
Okay, but what's not even close is give me Tom Brady over any of these kids because he is very proven. He's as proven as you've ever seen.
It's 43.
You've been saying it for a couple of years now, Shannon.
Yeah. And he's gotten progressively worse every year, Jenny.
All right.
He ain't getting better.
All right.
He just won the Super Bowl a year ago. I don't know.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Progressively worse? You remember the Chargers game?
You see what you did? See, Jenny, if I can just get you to evaluate it for 2019.
You just said progressively worse over the last 2 years. Did you see what he did at Kansas City
I saw what he did in the Super Bowl against the Rams. 0 touchdowns and interception. But he had to drive. Jenny. You see what he did, Jenny?
He did just enough.
What he did, he
for
won
that.
the argument.
Get the win. In the latest poll from ESPN NBA Insiders, it was the two superstars in LA who received the most votes for who you would want on your team in a final series. LeBron led the way with just over 45% of the vote, followed by Kawhi Leonard with 23% and Giannis Antetokounmpo with 20%. Other players who received votes were Kevin Durant with 5% and Luka Doncic and Steph Curry each had just under 3%. So, Shannon, do you agree with this breakdown?
That hurt you, didn't it, Skip Bayless? In the insiders.
It didn't hurt me at all?
Yeah, whoa.
But should I go? I'll go right now.
No, whoa.
Right
I mean, the guy that they most want to have on the team in the NBA Finals is not the guy that the NBA supposedly run through. Huh? I'm missing something. Something ain't adding up. Let me punch this in the computer right quick.
Do the numbers.
One guy's supposed to be to run through everything, and the NBA runs through him. The other guy is that they most would like to have in the final. Yeah, Skip, it ain't adding up.
That was quick.
I put that in, I just crammed them numbers right quick,
Yes.
and then they come in there real like it's supposed to. The GOAT, 45%. Because you know why, Skip Bayless? Because he's one of the few players that can do something other than score. And if you negate that, he also can hit you with 14, 15, 16 assists. He also can go get you 13, 14 rebounds. There are very few guys can do you that. Did you know, Skip, he had the #1 defensive rating? And you know, go. So now he done turn back the hands of time and sit in the chair a little bit. Not often. But he can sit in there a little bit. Skip, look. He just can influence the game in so many different ways. No one else in the NBA can do it like he can. We know that. We've seen that. Now that he has the ball in his hand, I mean, he's always, but really, they list him as small forward, but Skip, we know he's a point guard. That's what he is.
I will agree with that. And only that.
Yep. But 43, hold on, 45%? Is that a lot, Jenny? There's only 100%.
I got 46. I'll give you 46%.
You give me 46?
Yep.
So, and that means the second guy, I don't even know who, you know what, Jenny? I was told, if you're not first, you're last.
Oh.
So I only want to talk, I don't even want to talk about second and third. I just want to talk about first.
I thought you didn't see Talladega Nights. You know Talladega?
I don't know.
I love it.
Ricky Bobby, you should look it up.
I know about Talladega. I know about the big speed track. Is that the way you talk about the Talladega?
No.
Oh, okay.
Love Will Ferrell.
Skip, look. This notion, you know what? It's maybe, and I think maybe also they factored in, Skip, is that Kawhi. Okay, yeah, he's won the last final, but is he gonna always be there? Yada yada yada. So for me, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer for me. Now, see, if I'd have said that, you was like calling me a homer. So I guess all these other people now, they whomever this is, this might have been Woj, or this might have been their.
I don't know.
So
experts, media experts, not players, not coaches, media experts.
You see, but when the players, because remember again, LeBron had 8 of them. He won 8 from the players. Yeah. He won 8 of them. You don't like that either. You when the media give it, you don't like that either. But at some point in time, Skip, the realization, Skip, people don't like truth because it destroys their illusions. You have this illusion that he's not the GOAT. But every time the truth comes around, it destroys your illusions.
What did Kevin Durant tell Rick Bucher about the coverage of LeBron James? Media fanboys.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why? You know, so the point was with this, you know what the shock was to me? I was astounded that Kawhi had half the percentage that LeBron got.
But the NBA runs through him.
Okay,
he should have been over.
But I thought this would be 99% LeBron James. I thought everybody else would get 0 or point something. Well, no, seriously, I did. I was shocked. Kawhi Leonard actually got 23%, but you know where the big swing and miss came? At the bottom of this list. And I guess out of sight, out of mind, but the best player on the planet is still rehabbing his Achilles rupture. His name is Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant got 6% of the vote. And should have gotten 58% of the vote.
Well, we like to see what he can do in the NBA Finals without Steph and Clay.
Oh,
they
really?
factored that in what he did when he was in OKC. And they factored in, you know what I think they factored in?
Wait a second. Who was the Finals MVP in those 2 finals that he stayed healthy in? Oh, wait a second. It was Kevin Durant.
Wow.
Who took over the 2-game threes in the King's Palace? In those, it's 2-0 Golden State, but man, LeBron's got a chance to make it a series at home.
Skip.
Do you remember the shot that he made right in the grill of LeBron James? Do we see that shot? I just want to remind everybody, this is Kevin Durant, the guy we've lost touch with here lately. We miss you, Kevin. The NBA misses you, Kevin, because I miss seeing that. That was game over right there. LeBron, you got to guard him. You're the number one defender, right? Is that what you call him? Right? Guard Kevin Durant. And then he turns right around the next year and does it again. Game 3 at LeBron's Palace. And then last year in the finals, remember Game 5 when he came back sort of shockingly? And he only played 12 minutes and he scored 11 points and went 3 of 3 from 3. And it seemed like he had turned the whole series around. And I'm saying, that's the guy I want on my team. That's the guy I trust. And guess what? He tears his Achilles tendon, right? We did not. You said the next day, I think Golden State would have won if he had stayed healthy.
Well, it would have been that he got swept. Had Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson been healthy.
No, but if he had stayed healthy from Game 5 on, they're going to win the series.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so if you're talking about the guy I trust the most, it's Kevin Durant on this list. Again, he's not playing this year.
Did you trust him when they was up 3-1 in the Western Conference Final? And he shot 10 of 31 and 12 of 31. Did you trust him then?
I didn't trust him when he had to team up with Russell Westbrook as his primary decision maker.
He shot 10 of 31 and 12 of 31. Russ didn't shoot that. We're talking about Russ. We're not talking about Russ. We're talking about your guy.
Kevin got to shoot when Russ allowed him to shoot.
Well, he shot 31 times, so he got to shoot a lot.
Interesting. Well, let's talk about your guy, shall we?
Go!
Because I have never, ever trusted LeBron James on the biggest stage in the biggest moments, and I trust him even less right here, right now. So baloney on the 46% of the vote.
Hey, baloney.
Because now we have to look at the big picture.
And baloney is good
We
meat,
have to
too.
provide context.
I'm tired of you two doing that, trying to undercut baloney.
What did we see from LeBron? What has he shown us in the biggest moments? 2011. Well, let's start. Wait a second. Let's start with how about 2007? He's up against the Spurs. He's way better than Duncan or Parker or Ginobili. He's way better. He's the GOAT.
He's better than them as individuals. Was he better than them collectively?
He couldn't even win a game.
Okay.
Couldn't win a game.
Kind of like Jordan against the Big Three Celtics.
And Popovich is saying, get off him, let him shoot.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. And then we start off with the first go around with the Miami Heat at Dallas. It's the greatest superstar meltdown we've ever seen in any sport. And that's on his resume. You can't erase that one. And then 2013, down the stretch, last 3 minutes of Game 6 at home against my Spurs, he has 3 unforced error turnovers. They were shocking to the point that I said, LeBron, what are you doing? And then he misses the game-tying shot. Long rebound kick to Ray Allen. You know the rest of the story.
What happened in overtime?
Yeah. Well, all that mattered was Ray Allen made the greatest clutch shot ever.
Not all that
if
mattered.
the ball doesn't go in, LeBron is 2-7 in the finals. And he would have been the lowercase GOAT of that game.
It did go in.
So then what happened? We go to 2014. He got blown off the floor by a record finals margin. Okay, but did you trust him? Is he the guy you want on the floor? And by the way, Kawhi Leonard happened to be the MVP of that finals, and he played really well in 2013 until he missed a late free throw in Game 6. But he played well enough to win that final. And then what happened in 2016? It was the Iguodala finals when LeBron had them dead to rights. They're up 2-1 in his house.
Okay.
What did he do? He went 7 for 22.
Skip, stop.
Okay, When
Dellavedova and Mozgov is your second and third best player. Stop, Skip.
You trust it? You trust it? In his house, he couldn't close the deal?
Stop it.
Could have been 3-1.
And you got Steph Curry, who's the MVP. So was Steph Curry not any good?
Okay. They weren't yet Golden State. They weren't those guys.
They're in the finals.
Huh?
What do you mean they weren't Golden State?
But nobody saw them as that team yet.
Skip, they won the finals. Steph Curry was the MVP. What do you mean they weren't that team?
LeBron James dominated them in the first 3 games until he had them dead to rights, and then he came up mini-me small.
Let me tell you how good we know the GOAT was. They win 73-9, and what did they do in the offseason, Skip? They go get the second best player in the NBA. They don't do that for anybody else.
Okay, that's later. That's not this final.
That was after LeBron beat them. They are 73-9.
I got it, but we're talking about the young Golden State Warriors. He had them dead to rights, and he let them off the hook.
They had Skip.
He did.
Skip.
Can't trust him.
Skip, they won.
Did you trust him in Game 1 in 2018 at Oakland? Did you trust him?
Skip, let this sink in, Skip. You say they weren't who they were, but they had won 60 games. Is it easy winning 60 games?
No, but LeBron James is, according to you, the GOAT, the best player on the planet. He had them. He was scoring 45 points a game until Game 4. And then I had to sit and listen to, he just ran out of gas.
The GOAT
ran out of gas?
You make a compelling argument. Yes, he's the best player. In golf, that works. but in a team sport. So why couldn't Jordan take a game off the big three Celtics? He was better than Bird, he's better than McHale, he's better than Paris, he's better than all those guys. But why couldn't he win a game?
He scared him to death. They called him Jesus in sneakers.
What they call it.
Yeah.
Well, Larry Bird was God.
did.
Well, Larry Bird was God, and he punished him. But all I'm asking, Skip, you know.
didn't let me finish. Then 2018, to finish out why I don't trust him. Game 1, he's got him dead to rights. He's got Steph on a switch off, and all he has to do is go up and make a 15-foot jump shot to win the game, and he turns it down.
Skip.
And then he pouts during the timeout before overtime, and he would not shoot the basketball for the first 2.5 minutes of overtime.
This is what I don't get.
Way to go.
You say LeBron had them dead to right. So let's just say for the sake of argument, they win that game, it's 1-0. Kevin Durant has Steph Curry and his team down 3-1. He had them dead to right.
I don't love Steph in clutch moments.
No, I ain't talking about.
He's not on this list.
I'm talking about, yes, he is. He got 3%.
Just under 3%.
Okay.
I'm talking about what you said your guy KD.
He doesn't deserve
You
this
said your guy KD should have been number 1. So you mean to tell me he doesn't have Golden State dead to right up 3-1 with the game coming back on your building?
He did.
So what happened?
He had a handicap called Russell
my
Westbrook.
goodness.
Why do you think he left?
The same.
By the way, I predicted that 2 years before it happened. I wrote it on ESPN.com. Look it up. I said he is not long for Oklahoma City because he doesn't trust Russell Westbrook.
The guy that handicapped him helped get a 3-1 lead. So he only became a real handicap when Kevin Durant didn't close it out. You know what? You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Skip. Old Goat James at it again.
I'm proud of myself.
You guys are on fire today. I feel like this is just a lot happening.
I will call you tomorrow night after you get that triple-dub, that 30-point triple-dub.
I'm sure you'll remind us.
By the way, thank you for bringing up this year because in the 2 games against the Clippers, he shot 3 for 17 from 3.
Hey, and the Clippers sag off him again. He gonna let him go.
Really?
Let him go. Shoot him with conviction. That 3-ball, it didn't go in.
Is he going to score more than 2 in the fourth quarter of the next game?
You're gonna find out.
Really?
You will find out in March.
You guys are on a different level today.
No mercy.
We are getting close in just 2 days. Don't miss the most anticipated title fight in years. Undefeated heavyweight champ Deontay Wilder takes on 29-0 Tyson Fury in the rematch the sports world has been waiting for. Saturday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Buy it now on pay-per-view or the Fox Sports app. And yesterday's press conference between these two, well, it got extremely heated with profanity-laced insults and trash talk flying back and forth. How about we take a listen to some of the highlights?
I tell you that. And stop pushing forward. I'm going to show you better.
Guys, please take a seat. Let's start the news conference. Might be back.
You big dosser. You big dosser. You get me. And I brought you to big time boxing.
Tyson.
I give you your biggest payday you've ever had.
I'm talking big woman.
You was fighting in front of 100,000 people.
I'm talking big mama. I brought you back.
You know,
Well. Shannon, in your opinion, who won the press conference?
I don't really know, because at the end, Skip, they were very complimentary of each other. So you don't really know. Obviously they're still trying to build a fight up and try to set it up. But I'm gonna give a slight edge to Fury because Deontay Wilder was talking. He's like, okay, I'm undefeated, you're undefeated. We're the first and third ranked heavyweights. And Deontay asked him, like, well, who's number 1? He's like, I'm number 1. And you mean to tell him? And Wilder's like, well, so I'm number 3. Who's number 2? Fury's like, your mama. So, he got a little jab in there like that. But, Skip, like I said, I don't really know if there's really any animosity between these guys. When Tyson fought, Tyson was real with it. Press conference, Skip, I don't know if you remember this. You remember Riddick Bowe and Larry Donald was going to fight in 94. I don't know if we got the video, but I had them to pull it. This is when you know a press conference for real and guys really don't like each other. We got that video. This was watch this, Skip.
Whoa.
Okay, I don't like you.
Whoa.
So, Skip, you run the risk of messing up your money before you actually get in the ring to make your money. That's when you're like, okay, this thing for real. How Larry Donald stood and take 2 flush like that. Woo! I'm going to give a slight edge. Skip, you know how these press conferences go. They go a little over the edge. People face things. I'm sure there are people that listen like, I don't know. But it's all, showmanship, selling a fight. But I'm going to give a slight edge. I give a slight edge to Fury. Not so sure that's going to take place in the ring, but okay.
I give a huge edge to Wilder.
Really?
Because to me, if you watch it carefully, Fury is acting. Fury looked like he had been studying videos of Conor McGregor. He's trying to go Conor McGregor. Yeah. Fury was selling. Deontay Wilder was dead serious, and it got real deep serious for a while. I agree they tried to sort of kiss and make up at the end in a little way, but there was this one long exchange about who needs who more in the middle of this thing that got pretty ugly. And it was very interesting to me because the Wilder I saw, and I don't know him personally, but it looked 100% legit angry. And he was talking about, and he was saying it right across the moderator, obviously, to the face of his soon-to-be opponent. And he said, don't he ever dare say that he got me to big-time boxing. I'll slap him. And I believe if he'd had the chance at that moment, he might not have decked him, but he would have slapped him, which can be an even worse insult than decking, right?
You slap a man,
Yeah, okay. He says, Wilder continued, don't ever forget, when I found you, you were strung out on coke, which, by the way, Fury has admitted to.
Right.
And Wilder goes on, when I found you, you was like big as a house, which was about 400 pounds, contemplating killing yourself, which he has admitted to. So don't you ever forget, I brought you back.
Right.
There's truth to that.
True.
But then Fury countered much more rationally and reasonably. You know, he wasn't angry. He was just defending himself. And Fury said back to Wilder, yeah, he gave me an opportunity, but I gave him the biggest paydays of his whole life, brought him to the biggest stage in the world, and here he is. This is how he thanks me? I put millions into his account. You owe me everything. Welcome to big-time boxing. Okay, there's truth on both sides to that.
Exactly.
Because the truth is they needed each other, right?
Yes.
Okay, because remember, after the Klitschko fight, he just dropped out of sight. He had all kinds. He went 3 years without fighting
because he lost the belt. Skip, remember he lost the belt because he couldn't face the automatic challenger, so he lost the belt within a month.
He's talked about all of his depression and his cocaine use, and it was Wilder who went to him and said, "Hey, come back and fight me, and you're going to have to fight a couple other guys to get ready for our first fight."
Right.
And he did, and it was a big payday on a bigger stage because it was a Staples.
Right.
Neither one of them had deserved even Staples to that point.
Right.
You could argue that Fury had,
Right.
but Wilder had not. So all of a sudden, these are two huge paydays.
Right.
But in the end, Wilder was getting insulted by the fact that he's being insulted by the guy he felt like he went and got and saved.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be Deontay if it wasn't for me.
Right.
And Skip, he was knocking people out, but we were like, okay, the level of competition, are they any good? It wasn't until he got with Fury, because we believe Fury is a skilled boxer. He's legit.
We know he is.
So, okay, he goes the distance. So now, but they needed each other, Skip, for the simple fact, if we believe these are the three of the best heavyweights, Wilder, Fury, and Anthony Joshua, however the way you want to put them, Joshua seemed unwilling to fight either one of the guys.
Yeah.
So it's only natural that the two of the three end up fighting. So now Joshua tried to take a little cream puff, didn't prepare adequately, and got carried. So some of the luster, some of the shine is off of him.
Definitely.
Now we get these two guys. Styles make fights. We always heard that, Skip. We get the classic guy, the counterpuncher guy, pivots, a great rope, control the ring, and then you got a guy. See, the thing that, look, when he shoots the jab, when Deontay Wilder shoots the jab, he's not shooting the jab like Lennox Lewis and Larry Holmes. They shot the jab to hurt you, Skip. He's just basically using it as a rangefinder to see how close he can get to you before he comes with that bomb. So he's not trying to really try. So I'm interested to see, because we heard Fury says, I'm going to take the fight to him. I'm going to try to suffocate him, put pressure on him.
Okay.
But for him, the thing is, Skip, with this guy here, normally guys, as the rounds dissipate and you've been fighting, maybe not so much for heavyweights because they don't expend the kind of energy. They just don't throw frivolous punches like lightweight because that's a lot of man you got to try to move around, him on you and throwing punches like that. But for him to have dynamite in the 12th round, Fury, and Fury admit he knows he's never out of harm's way.
Yep. So, in the end, my takeaway from watching all of this, start to finish, was yesterday I told you I loved the way that Fury finished that fight because it shocked me because he attacked after he sort of resuscitated himself. I don't know how he got up, but he got up. And I thought the count was too long. But he did get up, and then he went into attack mode, probably out of just sheer desperation.
Yeah, he had to.
Started working.
Right.
And so now he's just out there on a limb saying, I'm going to rough him up in the first round. I'm going to knock him out in the second round because I'm going to attack him from the start.
Right.
And that is truly offending Wilder, because he was saying yesterday, you can't knock out me or anybody else. You're not that guy. So he was calling him out. I felt real, raw anger from Wilder.
Right.
And I believe that now I'm starting to lean toward him in this fight, because I think he's going to carry it into the fight.
Right.
I think if he can pull it off, he will punish him as quickly and convincingly as he can punish him.
Yeah, but I think he's going to have to, be a little bit more aggressive in the fight, because, Wilder, he's methodical. He's just trying to figure it out, and he let guys get ahead of him. I mean, you look at Ortiz. Ortiz was ahead of him because he counted him, was doing all that, but he got reckless. He got close to him, and they hit the light switch on him, and it was out.
People are excited about it, too.
Well, they should be, because I think Wilder's going to try to put him down quickly.
Let me take it back, Skip. You know why we got an American heavyweight. For the longest time, it was Lennox Lewis. It was the Klitschko brothers. Yeah. We got an American heavyweight.
No, it's a big deal.
Yeah, we like with Ali and Foreman and Frazier and Kid Larry Holmes, Mike Tyson. But for the longest, the heavyweights are playing defensive end and power forward in the NBA and the NFL now.
Yeah. They are.
Because you look at Wilder, like
their
6'7". He should be playing basketball. He should be a defensive end.
Yep.
The cheapest ticket right now, and this is the upper bowl, is just under $500. So, I mean, the popularity for this in Vegas, couple days.
I might take the old private jet and shoot on out.
I doubt you're going to do that, but
I was
you can live it up.
Yeah. I was thinking about it.
Thinking about it?
Thinking about it. Take the old G6.
Must
I got
nice.
old G6.
Must be
Park
nice.
that by an eye right now.
Oh,
you got it parked in your driveway.
No, that's it by an eye.
Feel free to share with me anytime.
No mercy.
The Lakers are set to open their second half of the season Friday night, and their roster is seemingly set for the playoffs after missing out on Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson, both of whom went to the rival Clippers. Even Magic Johnson can see the Clippers have a deeper roster right now. Magic said the Clippers are probably better man-to-man when it comes to the bench over the Lakers. In a series between the two teams, Magic said it would come down to LeBron and Anthony Davis needing to dominate and find a third scorer. So, Shannon, did Magic say anything here that surprised you?
No. I mean, the great Magic Johnson basically confirmed what I said yesterday, Skip Bayless. You know what? I'm about to hit up an old basketball guy or something. I be talking about this whole dropping the
you are? You're a basketball guy?
Think about that. I ain't go to 9 finals in 12 years like Magic, win 5, be 3 MVPs. But you know what I'm saying, Skip. Look, he's right. And even if AD and LeBron dominate, which I believe they will, Paul George and Kawhi can neutralize that, okay? Because, Skip, if you remember the first finals that when KD first got there, if you look at KD and Steph, LeBron and Kyrie basically played them to a push. But it was Draymond, it was Clay, and the others that the other 3, 4, 5 guys that were going to play couldn't match that depth. You're getting 38 points a night between Lou Williams and Trez Harrell. They're 1-2 right now, Skip, for 6th man of the year. Probably going to be Lou Will, because Lou can go get 50. There are very few guys in the history of the game that can come off the bench and give you 50. Lou Williams can do that. Trez Harrell is going to shoot a high percentage. He gets somebody one-on-one. Normally it's a slower guy, Skip. He first step you, he get into the basket. He's going to give you double-digit rebounds on most nights. So, yeah, there's no question about it. And Magic said, who's going to be the third guy? And see, Skip, I don't think it needs to be the same guy every night. Can Kuz give us 21 night? Can Danny Green give us 21 night? Can Avery Bradley? Most of the time, Skip, we don't get that. So, yes, Magic is absolutely right. But even if they dominate, it's not like Kawhi is a scrub. Kawhi can dominate. Paul George, we don't know his health. We've seen Paul George. Now, Paul George hadn't consistently dominated when he was in Indiana, Skip. He and LeBron had some battles when they were when he was in Miami and LeBron went back to Cleveland. They had some battles. But we haven't seen that when he was at OKC, so we'll see if he can get back to that. But they can neutralize him. Let's just say the Stars play to a 60-65 tie. 65 for AD and LeBron, 60-65 for Paul George and Kawhi. Okay, what they going to do about Lou? but they're going to be about Trez, Landry Shamet, Morris, Reggie Jack. So, yeah, they should be, they could be, unless we get unless we can find a third guy that's going to give us somewhere between 18 and 22 to be able to offset Skip. Yeah, we got our work cut out for us. No question about it. And Magic is absolutely right.
So I was very surprised by two things that Magic Johnson said. First, that he acknowledged that the Clippers are probably better down the bench. That's a strong statement from Magic Johnson.
Lie.
Okay, but he sort of represents the Lakers as an unofficial ambassador.
But you just can't I mean, I guess you can bold-faced lie. I mean, sometimes we see it a lot. But anyway, but you just can't lie to Skip. I mean, when they got Trez and Lou, what we got on our bench that's better than Trez and Lou?
And obviously Magic was the sort of team builder for the Lakers, and now he's no longer. Yeah. And now Rob Pelinka, who he wants to accuse of stabbing him in the back.
But did he tell you the reason why they got AD was because of him?
He did say that. but again, it was Rob Pelinka who then had to assemble on the fly after they got sort of left for dead by Kawhi Leonard, the team that we see in action right now. And by the way, before I continue, I about fell off my chair yesterday when I read that the Lakers are interested if Mo Harkless gets bought out.
Mo Hart? Yeah, we
wait a second. So help me out here. The guy that the Clippers said, yeah, we'll throw in Mo Hark, right? Yeah. We'll throw him into the trade to the Knicks. We'll get rid of Mo Harkless because they did not love the money they had given to Mo Harkless. So now the Lakers are saying, yeah, give us your retread. Give us your hand-me-down. Give us what you didn't want.
But it happened. Hold on. You signed two guys that nobody wanted. Reggie Jackson is on your roster because Detroit said you could have him. Okay, the Knicks.
Wait a second. If Reggie, he was on the market, the Lakers want him just as badly as the Clippers did. Everybody wanted Reggie Jackson.
First of all, Skip Bayless.
Any contender would want Reggie Jackson.
Mo Harkless was on the Clippers. So at one point in time, they did want him.
Yeah, but then they didn't want him. And they managed to give him away.
We'll get it.
And keep Landry Shamet.
Watch what LeBron do with Mo. Watch what LeBron can do with him. Knock down them big threes for him.
Say good luck to you and your bench. No, I'm just saying. You guys want Mo Harkless now after he was discarded by the Clippers?
Call him Mo Better Harkless.
Okay.
Because he'll be better with us when he works with y'all.
In fact, the more I talk about it, I'm shocked that Magic would acknowledge they're probably better top to bottom. Wow, that's a statement from that guy. Okay, and then we got Anthony and LeBron. They have to dominate. I'll certainly give you, that's like obvious. They're going to have to dominate because, by the way, they have not dominated in the first two games these teams have played, right?
One guy, they get off to great starts and then they fizzle. Because you remember, Skip, the first half, AD had like 20 points. And he was dominating because they was throwing it down to him on the block and he was posting, shooting up over. He was up and under. So he was dominating. But he's going to have to do that. Basically, Skip, if they're not going to get third scoring on a consistent basis, they might have to go to 75, 80 points. It might have to be like Kyrie and LeBron did in Game 5. Skip, remember when they went to Golden State and both had 41? LeBron had 41, 16, and 8, and Kyrie was spectacular.
Okay.
It might have to be a situation like that.
Well, just for the record, in the opening night game, it was tied after 3 quarters, and LeBron scored 2 and AD scored 0 in the fourth quarter.
Won't happen again.
Okay. And they got basically blown away.
It won't happen again.
Then it did happen again because on Christmas Day, the Lakers were up 7 with 6:39 left in the game. 7 points. And Kawhi Leonard from that point scored 9 points of his 11 in the fourth. And guess what the score was from that point on? It was 17-5 Clippers. So your two guys are going to have to come up much bigger than these two games, right?
Even 60 points between the two might not be enough. It might have to be 70, 80.
Which brings me to Magic's third statement, which is, then we're going to need that third scorer. That was the biggest mouthful because, to your point, you don't have a third scorer. You have nobody you can count on. Well, the other team has everybody they can count on. Starting with the 6th man of the year.
Lou and Trez. Like I said, Skip, they're averaging 38 between the two of them.
Count on them. Count on them. And then to your point, Reggie Jackson can just go off on any given night, right?
Yes.
And Marcus Morris will take and make big threes in the fourth quarter.
He did it in Boston.
So that brings me to the Lakers, and you say, well, Danny Green could give you 20. Show me when. I don't know.
Skip,
Show me.
Skip, you remember the first night?
Yeah.
Danny Green was letting them three fly. He had 28. Old Daddy Green, old Daddy, he came, old Daddy.
In a game that matters. I'll give him this. He hit that big shot in the corner at Dallas. Remember that?
And then we got KCP. KCP.
Right. You trust him? Because you often don't like KCP.
They be raining threes on me.
Really?
Yeah, they hit them threes.
Okay, Avery Bradley, you said he's good for 20 points on any given night. Which given night?
I don't
know. I'll give you any night. You won't get 20.
Might have been Portland. He gave us 20. He gave us a big shot.
Boy, that's
but like
rare.
I said, but that's the thing, Skip.
Okay, which brings me back to Kyle Kuzma. Somehow he never fit or clicked, and I thought he was your closer. And somehow he's not in the click as in CLIQUE of those two. They've sort of pushed him off to the side.
We ain't pushed him. He pushed himself.
He ain't one of us.
He pushed himself.
Right?
Shooting 2 or 12 from the floor and getting 5 points.
Okay, so it's not a big 3, it's a big 2.
Yeah. We ain't even got a possible. If you play spades, you know what I'm talking about. They ask you how many books you got. I got 3 in the push, 4 in the possible. We got just 2. I got a for sure 2.
Magic Johnson knows that he was winning championships because every night he needed James Worthy to be the third scorer, he was.
Yeah.
And when he needed Byron to be the third scorer, he could really be the third scorer.
Yeah, this guy who had Coop.
Yep.
And this Skip, he had McAdoo, he had Michael Cooper.
Right.
So he had, and he had Michael Thompson.
Okay. I don't know. This looks like 2 against 12 to me. I don't know.
So
is that what you're saying? So LeBron James really handicapped. So if LeBron James would have pulled this off,
he's top heavy as you know what. As he said once upon a time. They still are.
We at least Skip, we can count on Kevin Love. It might be every other game, but he give us 17. Can we count on
I'll give you this for your Lakers. You're tall. You got tall guys. You're really tall.
Compliment from you, Skip.
I know.
Skip, really, probably our third best player been Dwight Howard. Why you bumping him?
You know what? He has been. I would agree. He's been phenomenal. I don't even know who he is anymore.
Yeah.
He's the guy I always wanted him to be. He's that guy now. Maybe he is your third guy. I don't know.
No mercy. In the latest poll from ESPN NBA Insiders, it was the 2 superstars in LA who received the most votes for who you would want on your team in a final series. LeBron led the way with just over 45% of the vote, followed by Kawhi with 23%. And Giannis Antetokounmpo with 20. Other players who did receive votes were Kevin Durant with 5%, and Luka Doncic and Steph Curry each had just under 3%. We're now joined by Fox Sports NBA analyst Steven Jackson. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good to have you. So, Steven, do you agree with this breakdown?
No.
Ooh.
Because I know this breakdown is all determined of if KD's hurt or healthy, right?
No, KD was on there. He got some votes.
Yeah, but I don't think that's determined of if he was healthy. Because if he was healthy, he'll be way higher.
Higher than 5.
Way higher. So
Okay.
Good point.
If KD was healthy, I would go KD. But
Okay.
since he's not healthy, I got to go with the King. I can't put nobody else before the King. He's played great, but LeBron has shown too much dominance in his career. And if I had to just start with somebody to build a championship team and have a championship team, it got to be the King. I wouldn't even disrespect him like that.
But you actually said the real King is hurt, right?
Yeah, if KD wasn't hurt, I'm going with KD.
Aha. There you go.
Nah.
Somebody else, somebody else said that on the show.
Let me tell you why I take LeBron James. And I'm going to take all this. You take LeBron because he's the one guy that if scoring goes away, he can dominate in other aspects. He can get you double-digit assists. He can get you double-digit rebounds. Skip, you remember when Jordan, when he first came back in '94, they played in the Garden. It was a double nickel game. But Michael Jordan's greatest thing, it wasn't the shot. It was the pass to Bill Weddington, which he dunked it with like 6 seconds on the clock, and they ended up winning the game.
That's true.
So it goes to show you that sometimes you're not going to have it scoring. But what can you do when that goes away? Can you impact the game in another way? And I don't believe any of these other guys, and KD's unbelievable. KD is special, 7 foot tall, got a range. When he pulls up to shoot that jumper, you're not blocking it. So I would have loved to see Giannis try to block Kevin Durant's fall-away jumper when he shoot that thing, Skip, at about a 10-foot apex. That's not happening. But because LeBron James, nobody can control the tempo of the game like he can.
I agree with that.
If he want to get it up and down, he can. If he wants to slow it down and make it a half-court game, he can. So for me, that's good enough for me, and I've seen him do it.
If he wants to turn it over, he can.
There you go.
If he wants to miss a game-winning shot, he can.
See, there you go.
He can.
Everybody miss game-winning shots.
Do you realize, I need to point this out for our faithful viewers, that is the first time this entire NBA season you have referred to that guy in purple and gold, number 23, as you just called him LeBron James, because every other reference the whole year has been GOAT James.
Yeah.
I don't know what got into you. I don't think you're that convicted of this argument.
I'm very convicted.
I think you don't really buy what you're trying to sell.
No. It's not even, Skip, it's not even close. It's not even really close. Because nobody, like I said, nobody else can impact the game like he can. Because, can KD score like he can? Can Kawhi score? Can Giannis? But as far as like, okay, what happens if the scoring goes away? You have an off night.
Well, some of those other guys can impact the game way more than offense. Like Giannis and Kawhi. Kawhi can impact the game on defense.
Oh, LeBron, do you know who the number one in defensive rating?
No, I understand that, but I'm saying impact the whole game.
Media fanboys.
See, there you go.
I do.
Don't skip that. You know,
I haven't seen that, man.
Oh, you saw that.
And I'm not saying LeBron can't. One of the biggest blocks ever in finals history.
The biggest is the block heard around the world.
Right. Wait, are you talking about the one where J.R. Smith cut underneath? Right? Cut underneath Iguodala and slowed him down where he had to sort of change his footwork?
Iggy got to dunk that. It's the finals to win the game. He got to go up and try to dunk
but JR got there first.
He did.
And LeBron got there second. Okay.
But guess what? We never seen anybody lead an NBA Finals in every statistical category.
Right.
Points, rebound, assists, steals, block. Skip, is that possible?
He can stuff that stat.
There you go.
But who made the shot of shots in Game 7? Who won the game? Kyrie.
So we go disregard that triple double.
Oh no, I didn't.
No, it's good.
So what we gonna do about games 5 and 6 with 41, 16, 12? So we just gonna throw that. Oh, Kyrie made the shot. You're not even in that position to make the shot if it ain't for GOAT.
Right. Who is the reigning Finals MVP, as you pointed out yesterday?
The Claw.
It's the Claw.
Yeah.
You know the Claw.
Hit the luckiest shot. Hit the luckiest shot. Hold on. You last year, you hit me on my head.
It was a lucky shot.
It kept
I remember.
Stack. He played this thing like. The only thing that he played more was LeBron lowlights when he threw the ball in front of the backboard.
The blooper reel.
Yeah, he rolled the ball out of bounds.
Are you asking for the blooper?
No,
it's been retired.
But he talked about Kawhi hit the luckiest shot
he did.
in NBA history.
Well, it was. Okay, so what's your point?
But now
it went in.
Now all of a sudden, you hype. Now all of a sudden, you hyped about Kawhi.
What have I told you 100 times? For 4 years, he was my favorite player in the history of the Spurs. I'm in here banging the table. I'm saying he's the best two-way player in basketball, and you're like, get him out of here. And then he quit on my team. I didn't like it.
He was hurt.
Yeah, I have forgiven. I have not forgotten that he quit on my team. But that's okay. I'm back on the bandwagon because he is driving the best bandwagon in this league right now. And again, Mo Harkless? You want Mo Harkless?
Mo better.
So the point is, do I trust Kawhi right now a little more than LeBron James? Yeah, I do. I just do. I'm with you because...
Are you sure he's going to be there every game in the playoffs? Are you sure about that?
He's always been there every game.
Are you sure?
In the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna be
You sure?
Yeah.
He going to be 100%?
He going to be there.
Oh, no, 100%?
He's going to be there.
Oh, no, so you okay.
So he was the Finals MVP in 2014 when they blew LeBron's team off the floor by a record Finals margin.
I mean, he did an unbelievable job on LeBron. LeBron just averaged 28, 8, and 8. But he did a great job.
He won, too.
But was any game even close?
I mean,
you know numbers don't matter if you don't win, Shannon.
So were you anticipating
You know that.
Were you anticipating D-Wade giving you 14?
It ain't about what you're anticipating. Numbers don't matter if you don't finish the job.
By the way, I forgot to add, 2014, do you remember Game 1 at San Antonio? Only one player on the court cramped the whole fourth quarter. He's limping the whole fourth quarter. LeBron James.
But when you know, Stacks, when you that size and you exerting that kind of energy, Skip, y'all pay your bill. You got worth $1 billion and you won't pay your bill so that you did.
Did Tim Duncan cramp? No, he's a big guy. He's bigger than LeBron.
Tim Duncan played like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Tim Duncan wasn't getting up and down the court like that. Stop. You know what, Skip? Why you keep trying to undermine the king?
The king?
Yeah,
I don't think he's the king anymore. The king is rehabbing his Achilles tendon right now.
No. Stop.
Yep.
You already know GOAT James.
No.
It's GOAT James. Stacks, you need to stop this. Now, you know when they were neutral. Head-to-head, Cleveland, Miami, head-to-head. The score was 17-5, GOAT James. That's what it was. With KD and LeBron was playing head-to-head in Cleveland and Miami, and he was in OKC. Go James. Now, he went linked up with the Wonder Twins, Steph and Clay, and then he got the upper hand. You know that, Stacks. Now, tell the truth.
And help me out. Who was the back-to-back MVPs of those two finals, 2017?
So LeBron James has never been back-to-back finals MVP.
Well, I don't really care. I'm just talking about recent history because it was Kevin Durant. And who went into LeBron's house back-to-back Game 3s? I was shocked by this because I didn't think Kevin had it in him. He took over 2 Game 3s in a row to just take the whole series over.
Now, if LeBron had gone join Kobe in 2010, because Kobe had just won the finals. You know, he went back-to-back against the Celtics. Now, if LeBron had done that, I know, because that's what your boy did.
I would have enjoyed it. It's all about winning to me. I don't care where you go. It's about
Wait a second. What did Draymond and Steph and Clay, for that matter, what did they all admit publicly? We need that guy.
They called him.
Hold on. But what did they need him for? Who did they need him for?
Go James.
And who did he outplay in 2 finals? Go James.
Yeah.
He outplayed him twice. And he's not Go James, he's phony Go James.
You know this. You know one player. Yeah. Yes, he can have an outstanding game, but there's a reason why Michael Jordan never beat the big 3 Celtics. He's better than Bird head-to-head. He's better than Parrish. He's better than McHale. But collectively.
Okay, Shannon, that was an all-time great team.
Yeah.
What the hell is Golden State?
All-time great.
They wanted to fight, no matter how you look at it. 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s. That championship team with the Golden State Warriors is one of the 5 best title teams ever.
And in Game 1, 2018 at Oracle, Go James played like a GOAT. I'm talking about.
Oh, my God.
He did. He'd scored, 50 points? I forget what
They shouldn't have lost that game.
He had the hottest hand I've ever seen from outside the paint for him. And he's got the ball in his hands with 10 seconds left and gets a switch with Steph on him. And he does not. He's got the shot of shots. He's got a free throw line jump shot, and he turns it down in favor of hitting George Hill.
For a layup.
Yeah.
Now,
for free throws.
Now, when Michael Jordan had that opportunity in the game that I mentioned in the Garden, he dropped a double nickel. He had a jumper. But what did he do? He jumped to shoot it, and he passed the ball to Weddling for a dunk.
Yep.
Okay, but that was for a dunk. This is for free throws. Clay fouled him. Okay.
If somebody would have fouled Weddington, he'd had to go to the line to make the free
he was
throw.
Wide open for a dunk.
George got to make them free throws. George got to make them free throws.
But he never has made them.
He's an 80% career guy.
Got to make.
And then what did LeBron do? He goes and sits 3 seats down from his teammates, and he pouts through the break.
I'd have been mad, too. I'm paying you all this money. You can't make 2 free throws.
He's talking about, well, if they'd have told LeBron, you're going to go into overtime. I said, no, but you got to tell LeBron how you got to overtime. George Hill is going to miss a free throw. J.R. Smith is going to grab the rebound 3 feet from the basket. But instead of shooting
you're going to quit? That's what you're telling me. You quit?
No.
Is that excuses to quit?
Is that what the Spurs did? After Ray Allen hit that shot, did they quit?
No.
Oh, what about Game 7?
They got shot in the heart. That's different. That wasn't. Wait. That wasn't self-destruction. That was Ray Allen made the greatest clutch shot you will ever see.
Hold on. Manu missed a free throw.
Hold on. Cutting me for the playoffs.
Yeah.
That was karma.
Didn't Manu miss a free throw? There's another guy that missed a free throw also. Can you skip? I want you to tell the people at home because there are a lot of people that weren't watching basketball back then.
He was 19 years old.
Oh, my God. I didn't ask you his age. I asked you his name. His name wasn't 19. He's not a British agent. So I don't know who 19 is. I don't know who 007 is. I need to know the guy that missed
number 2. And he played like number 2 that night at the free throw line. Yep.
And then Go Jay, what happened when he got to overtime? Who took that game over?
Did Kawhi win Defensive Player of the Year and Finals MVP in the same year? Didn't Jordan do that too?
Yep.
No. I don't think he won them in the same year.
Okay.
He won them back-to-back. He won them back-to-back, but they
well, there you go.
No, Jordan is the only one to win Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP in the same season.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Steven, thank you.
But we should have had it too. They gave it to Marc Gasol. You know we supposed to have that thing with Marc Gasol, Stack. You know it.
Marc had a good year, but anytime LeBron is in the rankings, he should win it. I'm sorry.
Go James.
You are just
your day
trying to wrap this thing up, but you're still
I gotta
going.
Get this all straight.
Okay.
So you believe LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan?
No. No.
Okay, thank you. Case closed. You can never say that again.
Moving on, Steven. Thanks again for being here.
No mercy.
And We are now joined by All-Pro left tackle and Super Bowl 52 champ, Lane Johnson. Lane, so good to have you with us. I'm looking forward to it, although Skip, he's been a bit conflicted about this all morning.
I'm extremely conflicted because I was born and raised a huge University of Oklahoma football fan, and you were a great player for my Sooners, but I don't like much of anything about your Philadelphia Eagles, so I got a problem today, but I'm going to try to wade through it. So here we go.
I understand.
So I've always wanted to ask you this, speaking of the University of Oklahoma. Okay. You were a very good high school quarterback. You went to Kilgore Junior College in large part to play quarterback, right? You played a little bit of tight end there, then you get signed by my Sooners, and you go up there as kind of a quasi tight end.
Just an athlete.
Right? Just an athlete, right? And the segue over a 2-year period from a star quarterback to, then you played defensive line a little bit, and all of a sudden you wind up as a star offensive tackle, right? And then left tackle. I have never heard of anyone going from quarterback to left tackle. It's never happened before.
I never thought it was going to ever happen.
Okay, and how did it happen?
Nobody dreams of being an offensive lineman.
I don't think so.
Well, they did a similar thing with Jamal Brown. I think when he got there, he was a few years ahead of me, but he was a defensive tackle. And so the same guy, Mark Mangino at Kansas, ended up talking to Stoops about moving him. Ended up converting, was I think a 3-time Pro Bowler at left tackle for the Redskins.
Yep.
And then he comes up to me that spring. I'm going to my junior year, and our right tackle gets hurt, and he says, "Do you want to play?" I said, "No." few more weeks.
What were you at that point?
I was probably 275, 280.
In what position you were playing?
I was playing defensive end.
You were? Okay, so you'd gone.
So I was a rotational guy during the spring, and so. Our guy went down, I believe his name, Jarvis Jones, went down, knee injury, and then next thing I know, I'm kick sliding and been here ever since. So it all went by fast. But yeah, I mean, going into college, my coach, who actually played Oklahoma, Keith Thomas, he said, "You're not going to be a quarterback." And after that terrible year at Kilgore, I threw a lot of pick sixes.
A lot of pick sixes.
Had more tackles than touchdowns. So so after that changed up and things started going right.
Okay, so what happened the first day you're trying to play tackle? And you've gone from quarterback to trying to block for the quarterback. What was that like?
Yeah, so actually I was playing defensive end. We're in the pass rush drill, and I rushed the passer, and the next thing I know, I'm over there kicking back, and I was like, hey, it's kind of like, it's pretty similar to basketball, which I played a lot growing up, and next thing you know, here we are.
So having the magic feet at your position is key, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at tackles now, the guys are so explosive out there. It's all about, you got to have some quick twitch fiber, and you got to have, you got to get off that ball. And so I think, you look at guys around the league, athletes, Tyron Smith, Joe Staley.
Yep.
I think those are, type of guys, at least I model my game around coming out.
So when you're setting up, obviously you're studying the guy, and you have to study a lot of guys because they rotate so much. What's more difficult for you, to try to kick in space, the guy in the wide nine, or you prepare for the bull?
Well, you got to be prepared at all times. But one thing Jason Peters always said to me is that the defensive end is going to react off of what you present him.
Right.
So, 9 times out of 10, if I'm setting back quick, if I have a good low base, I'm going to be good. The thing happens is, sometimes you may overkick, and the defense line is looking for that space between the guard and tackle so they can run those games. Mm-hmm. So there's a fine line that you're living on.
Right.
And that, that's the line that, every year, that's what we play.
So let's talk some Eagles, Cowboys, shall we?
Let's talk it.
What was the difference in game number 1 last year and game number 2 in Philadelphia?
Well, I remember, I think the second drive of the game, I gave up a strip sack to DeMarcus. So
you did?
That didn't go well.
Yeah.
After that,
we're talking about, what was the score? 37-10, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hey,
that was the first game.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good for us.
Yep.
And then, it's pretty similar to the year we had before, with just constant adversity, injuries, and somehow we found a way towards the end to get it done. But it's always a battle.
Okay, and then what happened in game 2? What was the difference?
I was on the sideline watching. I was watching my guys compete. I felt like our offensive line played pretty well. I think some of the younger guys at receiver stepped up, Greg Ward, and really, it just came down to a dogfight.
It came down to Cowboys being the Cowboys. They do Cowboys things when you need them to do what they're supposed to do. You could always count on the Cowboys doing Cowboys things, which is like not showing up.
Like the year before when they won a playoff game. And
you see,
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Right.
The man said he was on the sideline. He's on the sideline. Al Sharpe was on the sideline. Banged up and walking to him. I gave Carson Wentz the name Walk It To Us. Because we had them long handoffs. I mean, he's throwing about 30, 40 yards. It's like a handoff in the backfield.
Yeah.
So how much better do you think Wentz is than Dak Prescott?
It's hard. It's hard to compare. But I think, both of those guys they're elite quarterbacks. I think Dak does a good job not turning the ball over. He, creates big plays. Smart, intelligent guy. I've talked to him numerous times. Carson, I think, answered a lot of questions this year. When you have a lot of those injuries, a lot of your stars out, and he comes out there and is playing really consistent. Obviously, you like to have him healthy for the playoff game, maybe make another push. But, amongst all the criticism that he had this year, I think he did a good job of stepping up, ignoring it, and really just going to work. I mean, when I go into the building every day, I see a guy that's, there before everybody and kind of, not to sound cliche, but really putting in the time.
And speaking of the last offseason, the controversy, there was a big story, what was it called? The Philly Voice had it about questioning his leadership abilities, and you defended him, as I recall. Seemed like a lot of the leaders defended him. What was your view of the criticism of his leadership?
Well, first of all, it's a weird predicament to be in. And I think he did a good job of addressing that. Coming forth with, some
The predicament, you mean Nick Foles?
Yeah. It is a weird situation, but ultimately I think he did a good job of handling it. He's a competitive guy, and I think, he addressed those questions. He answered that and then moved on. And so turned the page, had a great year this past year, and, ready for this year.
Were you surprised at how great Nick Foles played for you and how not great he played at Jacksonville?
Well, how many games did he play at Jacksonville before he got, so you didn't really have a whole lot of time to read that. But, yeah, I was there with Nick my rookie year, 27-2, so I've seen him play very well. And then the Super Bowl run just it all went by so fast, and you don't really have time to grasp it. Just really, I think what we did with him, we shortened up the playbook, made it real simple, and really just, went on his strengths and what he does best.
And sometimes quarterbacks just fit locker rooms, and they fit situations, and they fit coaches, and he was the perfect fit.
He's a guy with no ego.
Yep.
I mean, you look at Nick Foles, he doesn't have an ego, and that's, in this league, it's, I think it's commendable.
I think the biggest thing, Nick, is I feel that the biggest thing that destroy careers is expectations.
Yes.
He stepped in. There was no expectation. Well, they lost Wentz. So if they lose, okay.
We had nothing to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
You go to Jacksonville. They give you the amount of money they gave him. They're expecting him. So the expectations are ramped up now. So they're expecting what we saw in Minnesota in the championship game, what we saw in the Super Bowl. That's what we should get now. And it doesn't necessarily work out that. The transition, let me ask you this. We were talking about it earlier this morning. We led the show with it. The Cowboys want Dak Prescott to give them a hometown discount, give them a break. Where are you with that with players giving team discounts?
I like players getting their money, to be honest. I'm not mad at them.
Yeah.
Because I think what that does, it helps other players with their contracts. They compare, contrast, this and that. I'm not mad at guys getting their money. It is what it is. There's plenty of money to go around. So that's why I'm mad at them.
You make very good money, but help me out. How many national TV ads have you done?
Hey, I'm offensive lineman.
I know.
Who does it? Nobody does it.
Dak's got about
0.
12.
Yeah.
He's got about 12, so he's making a whole lot of money off the field.
Yeah.
Right, Mr. Sharpe?
So you're saying, hey, get a hometown discount and let's help out the team. Is that's what y'all want in a perfect world?
How you do it.
No.
Yes.
I want my money.
No, you want the Cowboys to lose.
But here's the thing, and you came in under the system, Lane. They already suppress how much a guy can make coming into the league.
Yeah, the bar set.
So we've already suppressed it here. Now we got a cap. We're going to suppress it there.
Yeah.
So in other words, we want you to fit in between here, but in fitting in between here, we want you to go here. Huh? Where they do that at?
Hey, that's why they got agents, huh?
Exactly.
Hey, that's why they got them.
That's fair.
That's why you don't need a salary cap, and that's why you guys should fight
No,
not to have one.
No.
And if you have to miss football games and lose some checks, you're going to have to do it.
He don't want a salary cap now because Jerry has the money, the big teams.
Yeah,
and I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's no cap, I'm golden. Right?
Good to
I bet
go.
you are.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So let's go back to the 2017 run. Who came up with the German Shepherd mask idea? The underdog mask.
Chris Long did.
Was it Chris Long? I thought maybe you had, but I wasn't sure.
I mean, we were sitting there having lunch or dinner, one of those, and he talks about it, and I get on Amazon and kind of, Amazon, you can get anything on this.
Anything.
They say German Shepherd mask appears.
Huh.
But you also made it famous because you wore one.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So the goal, we played against the Falcons, and a lot of talk. Everybody was injured, and so it wasn't, had grim expectations, and so coming out there, we get the win. I give the mask to Jason Peters. He gives them to us after the game. Then next thing you know, I just think it kind of took off with the town of Philadelphia, I just think with kind of the Rocky, the kind of the feel.
Underdog.
Underdog, yeah. I think it just kind of went well with him.
And were you threatening to bring him back out last year? Because you deserved him with all the injuries you guys had, right?
Yeah, but hey, it's kind of hard to duplicate that, so I'll just let that rest.
Yeah, one shot, one kill, Skip.
That's it.
So will you guarantee 2 Eagles victories next year over the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, hey, don't ask me dumb questions. I mean, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
I like
that's
that.
what I want to say. You better be
I
confident.
think we got a hell yeah.
Yes.
Right? Huh?
Yes.
Are you guaranteeing to?
You're not. First of all, you're not winning the division. I've already told you the Eagles got this division locked. They got the better the best quarterback in the division resides in Philly.
Wait, he's the guy you say, my guy, the second best, you say he deserves $40 million. Yeah. Which is it?
Can you tell him how free agency works? Free agency is not about being good. It's about being free.
It's about the timing, too. It's all about timing.
And you know the goal, Skip. You know what to go. Look here. I don't believe all those houses up in Malibu should start at $5 million. I don't, Skip.
Well, they should, too. It's location.
And Dak says, I play quarterback.
For the Cowboys, and I make $50 million off the field.
Off the field.
Okay. Hold on.
I hear what he's saying. Hey, he wants the best team possible. I get it. Hey, I understand.
Thank you.
And guess what Dak is? A team. Team Dak. So let me so in other words, if you were doing national spots, they say, you know what? You got 5 national spots, Lane. We know you should get $70 million over 3 years, but we want to give you 50. What they got to do with your hard work? What they got to do with you being on the field? Because one injury, woof. Yeah. Because that money ain't guaranteed now. It ain't like football. It's not like basketball and baseball. Mike Trout gonna get all $350 million.
Don't say it. Just a lot of it is about timing. And if you hit it right, you hit the market right. Hey, good for you. And I ain't mad at anybody.
If you don't believe, here's my thing. This is what I tell guys. If a team doesn't believe you're worth what you're asking for, tell them to let you free. Let the market bear it out.
Okay.
Let it play itself out.
Yep.
So once upon a time, you did take a little shot at the New England Patriots for being a little robotic, not having much fun. What do you think is about to happen to them with Tom Brady? What's your gut feeling? Do you think he goes back? Do you think he's elsewhere?
That's a good question. Personally, I don't know why you would let him walk after all he's done. I think, obviously, I think his record speaks for itself. I think New England will be successful with him, obviously, or without him. But yeah, I think it'll be a weird situation. I think I look at that. I think there's a good statement made whenever I think Brady got hurt that year. I think it was in 07. Matt Castle came in. They went 11-5, and so he has a good track record with Brady. Yeah, exactly.
The first game that he got, remember he was suspended a couple of years ago. They the first 4 games he missed. They go 3-1.
Yeah.
Okay. And before we let you go, you are a big boxing fan because you are on your way to a little big fight this weekend in Las Vegas on Saturday night, live on Fox and ESPN, I believe.
Yeah, both of them.
Pay-per-view. You are a Tyson Fury fan, correct?
Yeah. I like both guys, but I'm going for Fury.
A couple of more inches. I mean, you can look like Fury. You got the ball.
Yeah, be sleeping on the ground too. Hey. I don't want no part of that boxing ring, but no, I think it's going to be exciting. I think with the first matchup, I think you see the power, the great eraser with Wilder. I think Fury, the difference, he's a little bit heavier this fight, so obviously.
That might not be good, though.
Yeah, we'll see. He talks about the conditioning, the European conditioning, so, we'll see that. So, other than that, I mean, I think it's most exciting. Boxing has been in a long time. I don't think Tyson's going to sit there and march forward. You got to move in front of Wilder. So I think he'll do a lot of that and being precise with his punches.
So you want no part of that ring? Even
No.
At, what are you, 6'5"?
6'6".
6'6", 320 something?
Yeah, right around there.
Okay. I don't know. You'd fit in this fight.
What's that quote? Everybody has a plan until they get hit in the mouth.
Exactly.
Hey, I think your pride gets checked a lot sooner out there than it does. You can hide behind a helmet and football pads.
Exactly. It's a different throwing punches. I don't know if anybody's ever boxed, but just go get 3 minutes and just throw some punches.
Yeah.
Change your life.
I think you found the right spot. You're in a good position, Lane. Thank you.
Yeah. Plus, he don't want to box. He's like, why would I want to box? And I got 2 easy victories a year against the Cowboys. He knocked DeMarcus Lawrence out last year. You remember that, Skip?
I remember a strip sack in the first.
He got lucky. Lucky.
Yeah.
What happened the year before? choked him out.
Yeah,
I saw Lane kicking.
Either way, it's great TV. Hey, it's a great battle every time.
Right.
So we'll leave it at that.
You have almost made me like the Eagles today. Just almost.
Did you get everything out of the way, Skip?
Yeah.
The meter's trending right now.
Lane, thank you. Really appreciate you stopping by your way to Vegas. No mercy. Dak Prescott has yet to sign a new deal, which means that at this point, the Cowboys will have to either franchise tag the quarterback or allow him to become a free agent in March. And yesterday, Emmitt Smith suggested that if Dak is the face of the franchise, then he should consider taking less money so they can sign Amari Cooper. And Dak can make up for the financial loss through all those endorsements that he already has at this point. So, Skip, are you surprised that Emmitt said this?
I am pleasantly shocked he said this, and I want to publicly thank a man that I've done battle with several times in my career, Emmitt Smith, for having the guts to go out on a limb and say what needed to be said.
It did need to be said.
To say what Michael Irvin has already said, that obviously Dak Prescott has a huge advantage over the other players on his football team and over many of the other quarterbacks in the National Football League because he is the quarterback of America's team. So because he's that, he has a dozen national TV commercials. He has made and will continue to make a ton of money off said 12 commercials. And for those who miss some of them, there's Campbell's Chunky Soup. I see that like every other commercial. I see Sleep Number beds. They're great commercials. I want to get me a Sleep Number bed just because of Dak Prescott.
Whatever.
It's working. It's
you want to get Sleep Number bed even though you want Tom Brady to replace that in Dallas. But okay, go ahead, continue.
Yeah. He's even got the yogurt ads that Cam once had, and I haven't tried them yet, but I'm thinking about it.
You ain't gonna eat no yogurt. You ain't gonna eat no yogurt.
I might eat a yogurt. And because the National Football League has this thing called a salary cap, and again, the players keep voting for it, so I can't stop it. I can't fix that. Because there is a cap, it severely can handicap a team from winning championships if you give too much money to the quarterback. So because his salary is already bumped up considerably by his dozen national TV ads, subsidized by national TV ads, why wouldn't he take an America's team hometown discount as the quarterback of America's team, just the way Tom Brady has taken for 20 years in New England? Brady made $23 million last year, and that was by far the most he's ever made in New England. All it helped do was make way for 9 Super Bowls with 6 championships because they had, more cap money to spend on more players around Tom Brady. So here Dak is. He is now 1-2 in the playoffs. I can't defend that. He went 8-8 last year. I can't defend that. They missed the playoffs. He came up small in the clutch repeatedly last year. I definitely cannot defend that.
You can't defend that now.
No, I can't defend it. I love Dak Prescott, but it's not time for him to make $40 million. It's time to do what Emmitt Smith said. Instead of 35, go down to 28 because you're already making some like $50 million off the deal.
This is what I love.
What?
I love how Skip Bayless, he can't defend 8-8. He can't defend no game-winning drives, but he sure defended them during the season.
No, I defended his performance because he's putting up big numbers, but he didn't put up big.
If you're defending his performance would warrant $40 million a year.
No. Somebody kept giving him Fs every Monday.
We're not talking about me.
Okay.
This is not about me.
I thought Dak performed statistically exceptionally well, but he doesn't have anything to show for it. They're 8-8.
You know what I love? I love how it's always about the cap when it comes to paying somebody.
Well, why shouldn't it be?
Well, let me finish. Dez Bryant had $15 million owed to him that last year. Skip, how much of that money did he get? The Cowboys cut him.
Okay.
He got nothing. What about the cap, Skip?
Okay, well, you should get it up front. You got to get a guaranteed
all of it.
Right?
I'll tell you what,
Kirk Cousins got guaranteed all of it.
$84 million.
Right?
$84 million.
Yeah. All right.
Skip.
Okay, he's a quarterback. Dez was a receiver.
Oh, so you see what he's... no. So Dak, I'm glad you said that. Because when they gave Troy 8 for 50, Troy wasn't worried about the core. He wasn't worried about what Emmitt got. He wasn't worried about what Mike got. Everybody now, they want Dak. For the very first time, Dak is about to hit a payday. Because remember, he was Offensive Rookie of the Year and probably made $500,000. Now, Jerry didn't come to him and say, you know what, this kid, but we got something. Let's get back to the table after his third year and give him a new deal, which they could have done. But they didn't do that, Jenny. Now, I've navigated a minefield. I know there are minefields. Sprained ankle, busted shoulder, knee, Achilles, concussion, shoulders. I navigate that minefield. I come out on the other side.
Yep.
Woo! And now you want me, after I did that, give you a discount. I wish I might. Dak Prescott and Todd France. Ooh, Todd France good. Todd France good. He from the crib, from the A. Anybody from the A, I already know they're on top of their business, on top of the game. Yeah.
Really?
And we know the cap has gone up 40% over the last 5 years.
We do.
Now, there's a hold on. Dak said, y'all want to get another game. Y'all want to go to 17. You want to add another playoff team. More money. And you want me to give you a discount. When and where and why? Oh, no, I can't do that, Skip, baby. I can't do it. Yep. I love you, Jerry. Love you like a cousin, but I can't give you no discount.
Really? Well, in the end, just to point out for those who say, wait a second, Emmitt's being a hypocrite because he held out for 2 games in early 1993. They lost both games.
Lost them.
And he came back, and a lot of people thought he took Jerry to the cleaners. I wrote it. You can go look it up. At that time, I thought Emmitt caved more than Jerry caved.
Wow.
They needed each other, but Emmitt wanted to get back with the fellas and save the day, and he did because he won the MVP of the year and the Super Bowl.
Emmitt also became the highest paid running back in NFL history by an average of $100,000. How is that
That's
losing?
like chicken feed.
Skip, not back. Skip, you got to realize when that was. That was 27 years ago.
Okay, he got 4 years, $13.6 million.
Yes!
That was an average of 3.4 a year. He got a grand total of $4 million to sign.
Skip.
Guaranteed.
Skip, money wasn't like it is now. We looking at the numbers now, and you see running back Adrian Peterson was making $13-14 million a season.
Okay, but he was asking for $28 million, and he settled for $13.6.
Skip.
Really?
Here's the thing. Skip, you reach for the stars.
Okay.
But if you land on the moon, you're happy. You see what he did? So Dak Prescott asked for $60 million. But if you get at 40, you're happy.
Yeah, he landed in Valley Ranch, where their team facility was, because he wasn't on the moon.
Skip.
He was just back to reality.
Skip. He was asking almost double what Dan Marino. Dan Marino was the highest paid player at the time.
Okay.
At $4.1 million a year. Emmitt Smith was asking double that. Skip, you know nobody's going to get... They always say, there's money and then there's quarterback money.
Thank you. That is true.
What position does Dak play?
Yeah, he plays quarterback for America's team.
They got it. They got it. And there's the thing. See, Jenny, that's the thing with us.
What?
This is why we can't really have businesses. And I tell guys this. Guy sent me a candle. He sent some candles here. I like the smell of them. I called him. I said, you know what? Can you make me some bigger candles? I embrace this black-owned business. I embrace the business. I ain't asking for no discount. Give them to me free. I'm going to try to make them profitable. I'm going to try to help the man grow. Why is it with us? I ain't never heard Emmitt. I ain't never heard Michael say anybody else. They ain't say Peyton Manning. They ain't never said Drew Brees. When Drew Brees gave a discount.
You wanted those candles for free, I know.
No.
Yes,
Not only did I say no, I asked him could he make me even bigger candles to give him more money.
Oh.
But we do that, Jenny. You got a T-shirt. You don't ask Gucci for no discount. You don't ask Louis Vuitton for no discount. You pay full price.
Okay.
Hey, Tony Romo ain't getting to give you no discount. Troy Aikman ain't give you no discount. And I ain't giving you what. Dak don't do it.
You're always asking for LeBron shoes. Hook me up.
I paid for them.
You dick.
I paid for them.
I do not believe 1 ounce of that.
I paid for them.
You
Sometimes.
a penny.
Sometimes.
You threw that in there right at the end.
No mercy.
Well, he's back, guys. Yesterday, LaVar Ball announced that Big Baller Brand is, quote, back and better than ever. Since October, the company's site had been down, but after a rebranding, LaVar announced that there is a new website that is currently working. So, Shannon, what's LaVar up to here?
What's the rebrand? It's still Triple B's. I mean,
do you still have your pair that you bought?
I do, Skip.
Collector's
you got
item.
them on today?
I don't know about no collector's item. They're item. I don't know about collectors. Skip, look, Give him credit. He's about to have a son that's going to go very high in the NBA draft. This is an opportunity again for him to. He's a genius at it, and he knows that his son is going to be a high draft pick. He'll probably start making the circuits again, Skip. He get on in, he'll bring out everybody a shirt or a hat or something to get back in there. So I'm happy for him. If he can make an honest hustle, so be it. But I just don't understand. I mean, it got such negative feedback, and then he tried to sell sneakers. Skip, it's hard to have a business. If I own a restaurant and my own kids and family won't eat in the restaurant, well, how the hell am I supposed to get other people to come?
That's a good point.
I mean, your own kid's not going to wear the shoe. Your son said the shoe was terrible. I had to change a pair every quarter.
That didn't help.
So, Skip, I'm confused.
Yeah. I loved your term. Honest hustle.
Yeah.
That's called an oxymoron because it's conflicting ideas. Honest hustle.
Yeah.
Boom.
don't
Colliding ideas. But that's what he tried to pull off, an honest hustle, because they were not remotely ready to produce these shoes at the rate they needed to produce them, and nobody could hype it better than LaVar Ball, and I miss him mostly for the wrong reasons. But he is wildly entertaining. We had him on the show, 5 times? I don't know. And every time he just lit it up in here. And yet, it still pains me to look back on what he did to his oldest son because he stunted his growth. He painted the biggest target on that kid, and he was just a kid coming out of UCLA, that any young man has ever had painted on him coming into any league. And it was hard for him to live up to not only his father saying he's better than Steph Curry already, but Magic Johnson saying one day that jersey's going to hang in the rafters. And Magic was running the Lakers. Magic chose him, and he was supposed to be Magic Johnson. And I'm so happy for Lonzo Ball because he's got new life, man. He does. He's got Zion. He's got fast breaks the rest of his career, hopefully, with him and Zion lighting it up and
Skip, it seems like he's playing freer. It seems like he's a weight. Maybe, I don't know if, look, I understand that he has a special relationship with his father, but maybe it's L.A. Maybe it's the pressure of being a point guard. Being a point guard in New Orleans is a lot different than being point guard for the Lakers.
That's right. Give him Zion, and he's got B.I., he's got Josh Hart, and they're starting to cook a little bit, and I think you're going to see the best of Lonzo.
And he has the ball.
He's got the
Skip,
ball.
when he was with the Lakers, I mean,
I know.
You had Bron. Bron, the GOAT, had to have the ball.
Big problem. And Lonzo has changed that shot, and it's starting to drop regularly.
Yeah, I see him. He letting them threes go. I was like,
letting them go.
Be in the 3-point competition before young.
Point, his father is smelling new business because all of a sudden the youngest son, and I got to give LaVar credit for this, because he sat right here in a commercial break and he said the youngest is going to be the best. Because the youngest is going to be the tallest, and he's going to be the most athletic, and he's going to have the biggest offensive skill set, and he did. We saw that at Chino Hills. And now his son, well, he could wind up being the first overall pick. He sure could. And if he is, LaVar might be back in business, right?
Might be back in business.
There's method to his madness at times. Sometimes it's crazy, but sometimes it makes sense.
He might be back in media business because he's going to be doing media tours with his youngest.
Absolutely.
Right?
Prepare for him.
So here we go, but I don't think my partner Shannon Sharpe is going to be buying any more BBB products.
I'm good. I'm good.
You got those in a special
BBB
spot.
was also standing for Better Business Bureau,
and they gave him a very bad review.
All right.
Triple B.
You keep those somewhere special.
No mercy.
The Raiders brought us plenty of entertainment last season on Hard Knocks, and this season there are 5 possible teams we could be tuning in for. The Lions, Jaguars, Cardinals, Broncos, and Steelers are all eligible to be featured come training camp, and we love Hard Knocks around here. So, Shannon, who do you want to see on Hard Knocks this season?
To be honest with you, Skip, I don't really think any of them have compelling characters. But if I have to see one, I would like to see the Steelers. Matter of fact, Mike Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger coming back from rehab, coming back to see if he can regain his old form. But all these other teams, Skip, it's just blah. I think since we did it, the very first Hard Knocks, Skip, everybody has tried to play. Every owner wants to pretend like he has a more involved role in the day-to-day operation. He's passing out jocks and all this. Just let it be about the team.
But it's going to be hard to top AB and John Gruden and the Oakland Raiders.
Yes, absolutely,
But if I had to pick one, I think Cliff Kingsbury is a movie star. I don't know about being a great head coach, but he's a movie star, and Kyler is a rising star. And they still got Patrick Peterson, Chandler Jones, and Larry Fitz. And so I'd have to go Arizona Cardinals.
What about Minshew Mania? We don't want any Minshew action for you?
Really?
Yeah, why not? He's a star.
That's all you got there, though.
Yeah.
That's
After
fair.
that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But look, you guys set the bar so high. You're Ravens, right? And and
Goose.
Yeah.
Ray.
Hey, it's just it was too good.
Right.
And nobody's ever quite been able to approximate. But we had 2 great years because we had Baker in his rookie year at Cleveland. And then last year, I loved it.
Yeah.
Still loved the show. But
Love watching
again,
it.
I think Arizona's like starting to take shape and happen.
But
and
the Steelers, Skip, is that franchise.
You know, I got it.
It's a pillar.
No, it is.
So it'd be interesting. I mean, Juju. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You get
I
a
like
whole lot
Juju
of
a lot.
juju.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just natural for you, though.
Yeah.
You just find the camera and you light
And
up.
you talk.
Nah,
and
yeah,
you talk.
Just a little
And
bit
you
around
talk,
here.
and you
That
talk,
is
and you talk.
impressive.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.